All right, there we go. Now the
Hi,
stream
stream.
can hear us. So Doc should be here momentarily, but we are going to go ahead and get started without him so that hopefully we can get through a good portion of what I've got prepared today. But if I can scroll to the right place, where is it? I lose this in my notes every week. All right, so when last we saw our heroes, Nate the Human Ranger, Gobs the Leonin Warlock, Othokent the Lizard Folk Life Domain Cleric, Talah the Half-Orc Druid, and Abraham the Human Wizard. Last week we picked up with our friends inside of the cave, inside of the mine, as they were continuing their hunt for the elusive living steel or living metal. They made a deal with the deep gnomes that they were allowed to free roam of the upper level of the mine. First, our group went down the belovedly named Poop Cave and met with a bullet, to which our beloved Talah bit the bullet, and the bullet fell over, and then got stabbed repeatedly to make sure it was dead. After which they went
skull off.
Then we cut its skull off and turned it into a shield because we're not monsters.
Look badass.
But next, our group went down the last line and found a pool of what looked like mercury, which, after being hit with a fireball by one Abraham Grissom, the pool of mercury turned into 2 full bodies of living metal, which our group fought with and defeated. After that, they returned back to the city, and knowing that the mine would be collapsed behind them to seal it off so that the deep gnomes could continue to enjoy their home, they returned back to Burcoin, and they went back to see Dryden. Upon visiting Dryden's lab, they discovered him in an emotional state and very reluctant or unable to speak about certain questions, and also his wife seemed to have been missing. After talking with him and delivering the excessive amount of liquid metal, which was beyond what they needed, or living metal, which was beyond what was required, but still thankfully taken by Dryden, they began to work, or they began to set in process getting the goods that they needed in order to facilitate the journey out into the desert of Kathtul and ultimately to their destination of Ik-Avorzana. And that's where we pick up. So, it's been 3 days. You guys at this point have been able to gather the appropriate goods and rations and whatnot that you had planned on gathering. Is there anything else that anybody would like to do before we leave the city?
Not in particular.
I will manifest mind. It's permanent until dispelled.
Mm-hmm.
Just making sure that I announce that I have turned that on.
And remind me and all of our viewers exactly what Manifest Mind allows you to do.
Well, just making sure that it's a long read, so give me a moment. It's from Wizard's Order of the Scribes subclass that came from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. At 6th level, conjure forth a tiny mind from your awakened spellbook. As a bonus action, while this book is on your person, you can cause the mind to manifest as a tiny spectral object, hovering in an unoccupied space of your choice within 60 feet of you. The spectral mind is intangible and does not occupy its space. It sheds a dim light in a 10-foot radius. It looks like a ghostly tome, a cascade of text, or a scholar from the past. My choice. While manifested, the spectral mind can see and hear and has a dark vision range of 60 feet. The spectral mind can telepathically share with you what it sees and hears with no action required. When you cast a wizard spell on my turn, I can cast it as if it was in the spectral mind's space instead of my own, essentially launching whatever spell I need from that point. I can do so a number of times a day equal to my proficiency bonus. And you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. As a bonus action, you can cause the spectral mind to move to an unoccupied space that you can see or hear, and it can pass through creatures but not objects. Spectral mind stops manifesting if ever more than 300 feet away from you. Somebody casts a spell magic. Or the awakened spell book is destroyed. or if I die, or if I dismiss the spectral mind as a bonus action. If the mind is conjured, cannot do so again once I finish a long rest, unless I decide to expend a spell slot of any level to conjure it one more time. And so essentially I'm just using a bonus action just to move it along with me.
Yeah, did you create a token for your spectral mind?
I have not decided on the shape of it yet, because I didn't know how if I was locked into what it says, ghostly tome, cascade attacks, or
I
stuff
think
in the past.
you could change it whenever you conjured it. So let's do this for today's session. If we have a combat encounter and you're going to conjure it, or if it's around, just use a Roscoe token for it.
Okay, sounds good.
Awesome. So you guys are starting to head out east. Head west from Burcoin. So looking at our big map here, we are here.
Let me just
And
turn
you're
you up
heading-
a little.
What's that?
I'm just turning you up a little.
Okay. And you're going to be heading out to the west. Am I quiet to everybody else?
You're fine to
No.
me.
Nope.
No, I had
Alright.
you turned down because you used to be loud in my ear. Now you're not.
Yeah,
He uses
there's a
different
reason for that.
microphones. It's all right.
Yeah, it's different, Mike.
Yeah.
So as we head out to the east, who is leading the party? Who's out front? Who's out back? What kind of
Best
layout
boy.
are you guys doing?
Best boy's in front.
Who's best boy?
Now you ask me to pick favorites.
Othokent.
Yes,
Othokent?
definitely Othokent.
Othokent is
best
out
boy,
front?
but
No, I'm
I
thinking Nade.
I think Nate would be in front also with
Yeah.
the research he made. Also, he
Alright.
wants to scout and make sure we are progressing smoothly.
Talah
Alright.
is still very close to Pip, continuously. Still
So-
kind of scared of the arm.
First and foremost, I need somebody to roll a d6 for me.
May I?
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
3.
Okay, so it is a clear day. It is very, very sunny, and it is becoming to get very warm as you guys begin your trip. Additionally, whoever is out front and anybody else who believes that they would be actively keeping their eyes open, please give me perception checks.
So everyone, I'm guessing, or just the people in front?
The ones in
Anybody who
front?
believes they would be paying attention to the surroundings versus reading a book or staring at the ground or being distracted by numerous desert shrubberies.
That does sound tempting.
Also not Nari.
Shrubberies
What?
everywhere.
I rolled.
We demand a shrubbery.
Well, ask the arm. I'm sure it will bring you one.
Me?
Hey, Arm, do you think you can bring her another strawberry? I think she likes it.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, because it is a 2-week travel period.
Oof.
We're not gonna do this for each and every day, so we're gonna cover sections of days at a time. So for your first 4 days of travel, the trip. Oh, and that reminds me, I need to mark something down. So we were there for
Yes,
3
Bruce.
days. So that we're doing another 4 days. So that. All right. So for your first 4 days of travel, everything's pretty bland, pretty boring. You guys don't see anything of real interest. It stays clear and nice and everything. But you guys have found decent camping spots. You're using the sanctuary in the evenings when you stop to rest from the heat, to get drinks and food and water on top of your rations and water you've been using day to day. So mark off your appropriate. Since you are using the superposition sanctuary every evening, I assume. So mark off a half ration per day for those 4 days.
I have a question about the superposition sanctuary.
I have an answer.
Can it be used for storage? If we have a bunch of rations, can we say, hey, can you hold on to this so we can come back in here and get this?
No, nothing. You can't leave anything in the superposition sanctuary.
Did someone hold all our rations, or did we have them individually? I don't remember.
I have the rations.
All right.
They're in the bag
I'm
of
not gonna
holding
hold everyone
exclusively, and any leftover that couldn't fit in the bag of holding due to volume restrictions is being carried by big, strong lizard man.
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome. So first 4 days go without too much trouble. You kind of left is because there was kind of sandy grasslands at first, and then it turned into pure just sand dune deserts. So starting on day 5, I need whoever is handling the "we're going this way" to give me a survival check.
That would probably be Nate.
Awesome. And then I do need everybody to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Everyone wearing their sun hats.
Milla isn't.
Sun hats are stupid.
Birds, raise your wings over my head. I need a shade.
Nate, look, I'm telling you, sun hats are stupid. They do nothing. Just take it off.
Abraham.
Where are my freaking pages? There they are.
In your book.
Decent. For an old man.
Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Now we can.
Yeah. Sorry, I moved my microphone and I think it unplugged my mic. So thankfully, you guys are fully rested before you started the trip. Nate, you are feeling a little bit worn down, but you're not quite like to the exhausted level. And part of that is, not so much the tracking through everything. It's kind of the weight of everybody's kind of depending on me to get them there. So it's more of a mental tiredness than a physical. But so far, everybody's still doing good. I need somebody other than Talah to roll me a d6.
All right. Whoopah.
6.
Temperature increases by
So
6.
there's actually a little bit of cloud cover for the next couple days of travel. So what this means is on the next time so the temperatures are a little bit cooler. So the next time that I ask for a Constitution saving throw, all of you get to make it at advantage.
Nice.
So next 4 days go by again. It's just pure desert crossing. Nate, thankfully you've got a really good grasp on where you're going. Otherwise, it would have been very difficult to know where you're going because there are no landmarks. You literally have a cloudy gray sky. You can't see the sun. All you have is sand dunes. But towards the end of the 4th day, or this would be the 8th day of travel, you start to see in the distance, you start to see rocky outcroppings starting to come out of the sand in some places.
Sweet.
Give me just a moment because I need to take another 4 days off of something that I'm keeping track of for no reason.
I'm going to look for meteors in the sky. Are there any fireballs arcing down towards us? There's a story I remember from a previous guy. Travels through the desert and warnings about a meteor strike.
Nah, you wouldn't know anything about that. So, it is morning of the 9th day. Again, you estimated it somewhere around 2 weeks of travel. And I need, number 1, I need another survival check from Nate.
Guidance.
Oh, guidance.
Giggity guidance.
After having used that beautiful
Double
spell.
guidance?
1d4 or
1d4.
1d4. Excellent. Then I need Constitution saving throws from everybody with advantage.
Hey. Nate, what the hell? What is going on?
There we go.
Awesome.
Nate
So
is
again,
used to the
because you
foresty area.
Oh yeah.
right. So without a doubt. So again, because of again your clever use of the superposition sanctuary, you guys are doing well. You're not getting worn down. The fact that it's been cooler the last several days than what you had kind of braced yourself for has been helpful. So you guys are doing pretty darn good. I do need yet another new person to give me a D6 roll.
I'll do it. 3.
So as you get up this morning, the clouds have broken. The sun is glaring in your faces, and you can already feel that it's going to be much hotter than it's been the last couple days.
Oh, poop.
About 2
What have you
days into
done?
this next leg of the journey, I need perception checks from anybody that's going to be looking out.
Ah, I'm getting tired.
And yes, Roscoe's doing it. Abraham's not.
Gotcha,
Roscoe's
gotcha.
dropping dead from the heat.
So Gobs and Talah on in this territory that you've gotten into, the sand dunes are starting to be broken up by like the kind of harsh red rocky outcroppings.
Yeah.
You see on top of one of the outcroppings in front of you, kind of off to your left, you see what looks like a person sitting on the outcropping with a cloak that's blowing in the wind.
Hmm.
Hold on just a second, guys. There's someone up there.
Well, up there, it's too hot to be up there.
It is medically inadvisable to sit in a position such as that.
Unless
Yeah,
you're a
well, you
lizard
go tell them.
sunbathing.
And I find this uncomfortable.
You see, even he doesn't like it.
Shoot.
So,
Well, you can stay up there. Are we going that way?
Actually, that's a good question. Would they be directly in our path, or are we just passing them?
They're off a little bit to the left. But one thing to note is, like, with the direction you guys are going, if they're like a scout or something like that, there's no way they're not going to see you.
right.
Well,
No.
Do they seem like they've seen us yet?
They have not made a bit of movement since you noticed them.
All right.
The
I
only
can-
movement you're seeing coming from that humanoid figure is the cloak that's blowing in the wind. It's a light wind, but you see the cloak flutter up from time to time.
I can
I
go
have-
over.
no, I have an idea. Hang on a second. I'm gonna pull up
Fireball?
Okay.
this. Fireball is an apt idea. Hang on a second.
I was saying
mean, we can
fireball
improve.
or firebolt.
Yes.
We could also
So
cast Pass Without a Trace.
There we go. That's the spell it mimics. Okay, what does the spell do? I can send him a message and ask him if it's okay to pass through this area, and do so in a way that would not reveal our position.
Okay.
Sounds like a
If
great
you're
idea.
able to do that, then yeah.
Okay.
I trust you with this.
So I have a figurine of wondrous power, Raven,
Mm-hmm.
which allows me to cast Animal Messenger, essentially. I could send a message to him and saying, we would like to pass through your territory. Is it safe to do so? We would like to meet. or something along those lines.
So, what spell does that replicate?
Animal messenger.
Like an animal messenger.
By means of the spell, you use an animal to deliver a message. Instead of having to choose a tiny beast, the figurine turns into that beast. I deliver a general description, such as a man or woman dressed in the uniform of a town guard. Well, there's a guy obviously up on that thing, so that's a very obvious description. Travels towards it, covering 50 miles in 24 hours, 50 miles per 24 hours. For a flying messenger, delivers the
You
message.
specify a location which you must have visited. I think that means general location, not like you've been in that exact spot. So,
That's up to you to determine whether or not this works. I mean, I'm looking at a
Yeah.
dude and I'm wanting to send a bird over to talk to deliver a 25-word message.
okay. Are they able to respond through it?
Mm-mm. That's why I'm asking them. Like they will need to take action. If they do nothing, or if they take hostile action, from my point of view, unless they can triangulate the Raven's direction, therefore they'd have to see it coming at them from the point of exit around like whatever terrain we're on, the dunes, and actually see us. So it just depends on when he notices the bird. So it's a way I'm thinking that might be able to get a message to him without him knowing our position, and his behavior is what I'm looking for. After the message is given to him, what does he do? Does he go get a hunting party? Does he do what he said? Do what I ask, where we want to meet? Does he come down with like one or two people and like stand in the open where we can talk to him? I want to know what he does in response to a message saying we want to pass through your area. We want permission to pass through here. Is it safe? Can we meet?
Sure. So yeah, you're able to activate the item. You can see it fly straight to him without too much issue. And then the item itself acts kind of strangely and returns back to you and turns back into itself without having used its charge. I want you to roll an Arcana check on that.
Guidance.
What is going on?
It would only do that if it was unable to deliver its message.
It rebound.
Person
He
might be
couldn't
dead.
deliver the message to it. Returned.
Okay.
We were warned that magic gets weird. The closer we
True.
get.
Also, as a note, Gobs, since I know you're keeping a sharp eye on him,
Yeah.
still has not moved at all. It
He's-
made no response whatsoever to the fact that
He says not moved at all. Or are you saying like statue-like?
very statue-like, it has not moved.
I'm gonna wave.
There's no response.
You know, I don't think our friend there is doing okay.
Again, I can easily just go over and see.
I think he might just be dead.
So do we just want to keep moving? Do we know for sure?
It could be a statue or some sort of sentry of some kind. An automaton. Do none of us have a spyglass?
No,
I don't have
you
the
know
money
goes
for that.
fast.
What I will tell you this, you can tell the figure is facing at this point, because you guys have gotten a little bit closer, and Gobs, you've been watching, you see a uniform color facing your direction. So you might think that if they're wearing a hooded cloak, they're faced the other way. You can't actually see their face or eyes or anything.
So how
'Cause they're
far
kinda-
away were
it's
they
kinda
again?
like it's kind of like the rock they're on is a slope up, and they're on the peak of it, and they're facing down the slope, and the slope, you can't see where the slope of that rock reaches the sand, because there's other rock formations in the way.
How
They're
far away
probably
was that?
about 100, 150 feet away at this point.
Okay.
Abraham, do you have Roscoe flying up and around at all at this point?
Familiar Roscoe's the only one with the endurance to do so, so he's essentially a spirit.
He can communicate with you, correct?
Yeah, it's not empathic in this version, it's telepathic.
Yeah. He tells you that he can see the person sitting on the rock, and at the base of the rock, sitting in the sand, is a wagon. But there's no pack animal tied to the wagon. And there's still goods and things. He can see boxes and barrels and things in the back of the wagon.
Have him fly closer. I'm worried about the Silver Raven's behavior.
Mm-hmm.
But I can always summon this Roscoe back with another cast to find familiar. This will take a bit.
When he flies a little bit closer, he can see that the person on the rock is... They almost look mummified. So they're either... as far as he can tell, it seems to be it's not a corpse. It's
not even a person
standing up.
That's why the Silver Raven couldn't deliver the message. There's nobody to deliver it to.
Well, that does make sense.
Something else that I would say Roscoe notices is on the other side of this ridge of rocks, there's a large sand dune that slopes down, and from the angle he was flying higher, he could see for the first time you've seen anything like this, he can see a ruined ziggurat on the other side of these rocks and sand dunes.
Roscoe's found something.
Oh.
He says that upon his searching, he sees a structure, a stepped pyramid.
Interesting.
Has that been any of the things I've read about this area?
Nope.
That's unbeknownst to me.
Where are we on the map? This heat.
You guys would be about here.
I know we're close.
Yeah, you're about halfway.
Time of day.
You would have gotten this. It's early, or it's late morning, so 10, 11-ish. The sun's not fully head above, but it's also not. It's getting there, so you're not at the warmest part of the day.
Do we need to take shelter from the heat of the day?
I mean, it's quite warm. I actually don't know how I look sunburned.
Well, there's a ziggurat of unknown providence. Do we investigate or continue to our goal?
What's a cigarette?
A step pyramid.
Oh.
Something you smoke.
There's a cigarette.
So, the decision that needs to be made is, are you guys just going to keep going? Are you going to investigate the guy and his cart? Or are you going to investigate the ziggurat? Or are you going to investigate both? What would you guys like to do?
Well, you can investigate the cart. If we're going to investigate the ziggurat, the one's on, it's in the way of the other.
At first, I suggest we check out the guy and the cart to see why he died, possibly. If there's any danger we need to be aware of.
Yes, but the danger you should be aware of may be around him. The safest thing would be leave him alone.
I mean, if the wagon's intact, we'd be able to use it.
Yes, but there's no pack animals, so who's pulling?
Talah just waves.
Roscoe.
Cast in large. Roscoe flies us out of here.
This big ass Roscoe.
Why did they take the ravens to Mountain Doom?
I just hate you. Everything about you. So what are we doing?
I have one vote for going to go check it out, and I have silence from the rest of the group. Oh, and Talah says that we could use it, but that's not really a statement that let's do it. That's just a statement that we could use something from it.
Yeah, exactly. So go investigate it. So because we can't use something from it.
Yeah.
Okay, you weren't pointing out a possibility. You're saying that's a good idea. Okay.
Yeah.
I do agree with going to investigate. At the
Nice,
moment,
yeah.
maybe putting the guy to rest seems like a good thing to do.
I suppose. Let's get out of the heat. At least there's rocks over there. There'd be shade.
Yeah.
So we trek our way over to the, I guess, since it's the base of the thing, the cart.
Yeah, so you get to the base of the rock and you see the cart is in the sand. You can tell it's been there a while because some sand has built up against one side of it, like where the wind would be blowing sand against it. But there's several crates of things, several barrels in the back of the wagon. And then again, very close to it, like within 10 feet, is the base of where the rock face that this guy is sitting on starts to become buried in the sand, and he's just sitting up there, like he was sitting down, huddled in his cloak, and died sitting up, as far as you can tell from without further investigation. So, what would you guys like to do?
I guess check if the guy's moving or breathing or anything at all, now that we're closer.
Have my Roscoe's watch out for me while I cast Detect Magic. Go ahead.
Okay.
Ritually cast, so it's going to take a minute.
Okay, so you're going to sit down and ritual cast Detect Magic. Gobs, you're going to check out the dude. Nate, what are you doing?
Keeping a lookout, trying to see if there's any odd movement anywhere, even in the sand.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Nice.
What do your elf eyes see?
Okay. I will say, just out of the corners of your vision, every once in a while you'll see sand shift a little bit, but it doesn't shift it shifts in a way that it's like, wait, that's weird. The wind wouldn't have blown it like that. You don't really get a hard look at it. It's always just out of vision, and you see it a couple times during these actions, but you don't see anything other than that that's weird.
Just gonna comment that the sand is acting a bit weird, but don't know.
Oh, what's wrong with the sand?
Well, Gubs, you're up on the rock and you're looking at the guy. We'll come back to give you a second on that.
I thought he was spelling it, my bad.
No, he's going to comment it, but I want to make sure I know where everybody's at here.
Okay.
So, Talah, what are you doing?
I am checking out the actual cart, whether it's still in decent shape after standing still for so long in these conditions.
Okay, give me. Are you also going to investigate, like, going to look in the boxes?
I'm definitely
like
checking out the things I'm walking past as well. Yeah.
All right, give me an investigation check. Othokent, what are you doing during this process?
I'm not good at that.
Well, it seems like everything is neatly covered so far. So I guess I'll help keep watch out for Abraham while he ritual casts.
I'm gonna guidance myself.
All right, Gobs, while you're up there,
yeah,
I want you to give me a medicine check.
Absolute bullshit.
All right.
Talah, you could tell that the wagon is definitely. It's kind of. Do you know what? If I say dry rot, do you know what dry rot is?
I have a decent idea of what it is.
Yeah, it's basically if something sits in a super dry area because all the moisture leaves it, it begins to break down. So
it's like plastic left in the sun for too long. It just starts to crack
and
crumble as soon as you touch it.
So the wood, it's almost like it's been eaten by termites, but it hasn't been. It's like if you touch it, if you put too much weight on it, it just turns to powder. But even though you got the low investigation check, there is a couple things that you are going to find that are very interesting. When you open the crates, you find rations. Now they're old and they're not any good anymore, but they are travel rations similar to the ones you got from Burcoin.
Right.
The other thing that's very interesting that you find is in those barrels is water. it's moldy at this point and not good or safe to drink because it's been there for so long, and the barrels are half empty just from the evaporation.
Yeah.
But this dude had food and water down here. When you look at the front, you do see that the cables that were attached to the pack animal, those cables are broken. You can't really garner any more information about what happened there because of your check, but
Yeah.
but that's what you find. Milla, with your medicine check, you don't really know why this guy died, but you know he's dead. It's a human, and they are dead.
Yeah, okay. I was more checking like, are they actually dead? And yeah, they are. They're not moving at all.
Oh yeah, no, they're dead and semi-mummified, sitting on top of this rock, clutched on top of themselves.
Her medicine check's so low, she checks for death by stabbing them.
Yeah, I was about to say like I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Poke,
check
poke,
for
poke.
I'm gonna check for death by just
Does this kill them? Well,
Like-
they
like-
died.
like
Oh,
poke him with
God.
a thing. Just
Nexus, no.
And at this point, Othokent, give me a perception check, and Nate, give me another one.
Ah,
Okay.
could I use
So you
this
both are
for-
going to notice this. This is right about the time Abraham finishes his magic check. You see that sand move again, and this time you see a little like gray and brown striped fin peek out of the sand for just a moment. Ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum.
Yeah, there's
Ba-ba-ba.
certainly something
Graboids!
Bum,
around
bum.
here.
Graboids. Yes. Man, I should have done graboids. That
You
would
should
have
have
been so
done
much better.
graboids.
So,
Why-
have you
why?
guys read the book
Why?
Dune?
All right. So, to give you guys
Under the
perspective,
ground! Under the ground!
Milla, you are up here.
It's
I
the
didn't put
shy
the body on
room.
there. And then
I'll
the
just imagine I
wagon.
pushed it somewhere. Also, where are
Yeah,
we?
the wagon is here. So my wagon people, put yourselves appropriately there.
Where did you? Oh, there I am. I see myself.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Wagon.
wagon. Yeah, put everybody else. Put yourself appropriately where you would be versus where the body is versus the wagon. Please.
Wagon.
Wagon.
Like,
Wagon.
is this a bit up?
Probably because this is also up.
Yeah, that would have been. That's an elevated rock. Yep.
So Milla's with the body on the elevation,
Mm-hmm.
and this slope is climbable.
Yeah, it's a easy slope,
Oh,
like 30,
Oh.
30 to
30 to 40 years old.
30 to 40 degrees,
Mm.
sir.
Hmm.
It's not that warm in a desert.
I need that
I was thinking like I would be up here,
wagon.
away from the wagon.
Actually, yeah, that's probably a great idea for cooling down. Because just stay here. 30 degrees. That's manageable.
I put
Hey.
down a wagon.
Especially if it's Fahrenheit, it's a frozen rock.
Oh
Very
God.
We're gonna need this.
Oh
In
God.
real life,
Already?
I'm coming.
I wanted to say
Oh
stuff.
God.
These puns are getting to me.
And
Ugh,
since he don't stop coming and he don't stop coming.
yeah.
As long as you dry off.
The juggernaut,
Oof.
bitch.
Hey, Othokent.
Yeah.
How big is the chance that someone's gonna die when there's still a lot of food and water around?
Well, it's only big if there are other factors deciding into it, such as sickness, wounds, or predators.
There's something in the sand. That might be it.
Predators.
He was too
Yeah.
afraid to come back down. The graboids. They're in the sand. They can't get on the rocks.
Yeah, 'cause the barrels are full of water and, well, crates
Talah,
filled with rations.
Get off the sand.
It's initiative time.
The hell's a graboid?
I love it.
Initiativo. Oh,
I think this is like literally
bleh.
perfect. You really should have used graboids if this is actually the case.
Right?
Only 18 boo.
Oh, I have advantage on initiative checks.
A valid token.
Oh
I
my
selected the
God,
token.
that's so nice.
So the 17 is the one I'm taking.
Can you click on my token, right click on it,
No.
and add turn? Add to initiative. Mr. Scream.
Yeah, I can tell you why it's not a valid token. Where are you?
It's not attached to my character sheet, is it?
Nope. Now try it.
It's just because Abraham isn't validated enough as
Abraham's
a person.
not
Take
valid.
that 15
He's
I
not
rolled.
validated as a person.
Yeah, I'll fix it.
He's just
I can
you
fix
fix
it. I can fix it.
Alright.
He's
Cool.
just
Yeah, he's not validated as a person because he's not a person. He's a fictional creation of my mind.
Don't
Why
get
did he-
meta.
Roscoe's real though.
And
I'm unsure whether I believe you.
Partially true.
I've put him in my game too.
What, Roscoe?
Oh,
Found a raven that was hurt on the side of the road. Took it to the vet.
all right. Othokent, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
All right. What does my lizard folk eyes see? When I move 10 feet.
Give me a perception check.
All righty then.
So you said at this point in time, I have detect magic up.
You do have detect magic up. You
So I'm
currently do not
concentrating.
detect any-
But I am concentrating on it. I just want to make sure.
Yep. Yep. You're currently not detecting anything magical. So
Holy
with
shit.
that, you see sand and rocks and Talah. That's it. You don't
You're
know
not
where
sure
Nate
about
is.
Talah though.
Yeah.
Talah could be a mirage.
Could be.
It's
If
heat
I was
stroke.
hallucinating a woman, she would look just like you. That's a good pickup line.
Why is there a mushroom behind?
Skull.
Somebody drew the corpse.
It's a chef's hat.
It's a chef's hat.
Oh, someone is drawing the corpse.
It's drawing a skull.
Well, I can't see shit yet. I don't
And
really
hey,
know.
I'll help. Let's add that to the map layer for you. Oh,
I
it
don't
lost an
see
eye when I did that.
oh no! My
We
drawing.
ain't found shit.
Well, since Talah's the one who's standing in potentially problematic area. Hoo-ha!
Oh, it's because... There you go. It's because the eyes were separate. And I accidentally moved
Yeah.
an eye to the map layer. All right, so
The other one not.
you're doing Shield of Faith on Talah,
Yes.
which gives her 2 AC,
Yeah.
within 60 feet. All right, nice. Nice.
Pretty good. And for now, I don't see anything, so I'm going to end my turn.
All right.
Oh, I forgot what.
Nate, what would you like to do, sir?
So I saw movement.
You saw
Where?
sand moving. You saw some roughly in this area, and roughly in this area.
Okay. So I'm gonna knock an arrow and hold an action to shoot.
Okay, you're gonna hold your action to shoot. What's the trigger on that?
Talah moves, then he shoots her.
No. When that fin you described becomes visible.
Gotcha. So as soon as you see a hostile creature, you will shoot at it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Gobs, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Let's see here. So we get the sense that something's here, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You know, I didn't even think about it, Sin, but this is 100% the dude that climbed the tower in...
It's
Tremors.
This is Tremors, dude.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going down here to the edge.
You guys know what Tremors is, right? Over there across the pond.
Ah,
Yeah.
It's that movie about worms that responds to movement, right?
Yeah, graboids.
Graboids.
Oh, a thing called graboids?
Yes. And
Oh.
it's dumb on purpose.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, let me just take a look, because I have a thing I might be able to use here. Nope, that will do nothing in this case. So I'm gonna move there, and then I'm going to cast Armor of Agathis on myself, since I have no other valid targets. And that's my turn.
Abe doing Abe things.
I don't know exactly what to do because there's no target for anything.
Ready in action?
Target Gobx. Magic Missile.
Well, what's the range on this? I'm going to manifest a mind into existence. I gave you a token, Mr. Scream, in Discord. And I'm going to keep it near Milla. I can move it 30 feet as a bonus action. And if you don't have that, can't do that, then up there we go. Can't control it, let me know. So you have a tiny spectral ghost of a, not really a ghost, but it's a scholar. It's an old scholar man. And I am going to prepare to cast haste on her through it, as needed,
Ooh.
in case something bad happens. Or, yeah, we'll just go with haste. That'll be the end of my turn.
Wise?
Abraham, can you confirm you can move it?
Moved.
Is it this thing here?
Yes, that thing. It's a tiny spectral. It's a ghostly image of an old scholar.
So of Abraham.
It may have some vague similarities. I mean, but it's mostly just it represents the mind of the book.
Okay, and that was your bonus action, and then you're holding the action to cast
haste in case on Milla in case something bad happens.
Okay.
We get attacked by whatever's underneath the sand, is what I'm supposing.
All right. And where is my GM layer? Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boom, boom. Everybody can give me perception checks.
Yeah. I actually have advantage on those because of my shield. I need to remember that. I have a sentinel shield. Need to actually use it. Yeah, Abraham just went, it's dangerous to go alone, take this.
Mm-hmm. It's, yeah, I'm looking through the eyes of myself and my specter mind.
That must be giving you a killer headache.
I can do it without having to take an action.
Okay.
I'm just scared what's in the sand, to be honest. Because I'm on the sand.
Okay.
Well, it's your turn.
None of you notice anything. Talah, it is your turn.
It is my turn, yes. So Nate told me to get the hell off the sand, so I'm gonna get next to you.
You would have to climb up the slope to get up's on the other side. But as you start to move,
Yeah. So move me back if you need me to move back, because I don't know where you wanted me to stop.
Climbing doesn't require a check, does it? It just uses half your movement to go up. Right?
It's a straight sheer cliff, so it would require a check.
Oh shit! Okay, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Does a 17 hit?
Oh yes. Even with Shield of Faith. I have a shit AC as is, so a +2 doesn't help much.
Still helps.
It helps. But
You take 7 points of piercing damage as you start to walk, as you start to go to walk away or run to the north.
yeah.
A shark type mouth pops out of the ground and chomps you in the back of the leg.
Sand shark, sand shark.
And it is still exposed. While it's exposed, Nate, are you wanting to do your attack?
Yeah.
Shoot it.
Okay, go ahead and do so.
Also, Sunscreen, where do you want me to move my token now? Because
It doesn't have the ability to stop you from moving.
no, but
once you
because
move.
it's a cliff thing. Because I
So
moved the full 30 to get there, but that's too far then.
right. So go back to where you were. You'd have to go around unless you want to try to pass a check to climb a cliff face.
Nah, I think I would be moving past
Nate, that
here, so I
hits.
would be on the side where Nate has view. So I'll just move
Aw.
again, but like there then. That would make
Two.
sense then, yeah?
Yep.
So we'll do it like that. Also,
Why?
your music stopped.
I know. Where?
And one
what,
on the damage die.
what layer did I move it to? I'm an idiot. Token layer. I'm still getting used to these new token layouts. Okay, so you did 17 points of damage.
Yep.
All right, you strike it good. Are you doing anything? Is this where you're going to cast haste, or are you not going to cast haste yet?
I am casting haste, so that's going to be
You
my held
casted
action
haste
used
on it. Alright.
on Milla.
All right.
So Milla has haste now.
All right.
You fool, you don't know what you've done.
That is concentration, so I lose the ability to detect magic. But I was going to. I forgot I was going to do something with one of my feats, but I don't think I want to retcon that sound screen. I really don't.
Okay.
So we're just moving on.
Just gonna look up what haste does again.
Keep on keeping on.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. +2 AC.
And you get an extra attack action, and you move faster.
The attack action is only for a single attack, though. Man,
Or
what's wrong
dash,
with
or
me?
disengage, or hide, or use object.
Ding ding, motherfucker.
I'm gonna hide so much.
All right.
But I figured, hey, you
Talah-
having an extra attack.
Well,
is
wait.
the main
Let's
point.
back up. I'm sorry. I apologize. I messed something up. Talah, you only moved 30 feet.
Yeah.
What were you going to do after you moved 30 feet?
So no, actually,
Hmm.
I was gonna prepare Moonbeam for when something popped out and just.
Okay, this one's still exposed because it popped
So
up to bite you.
Yeah, then Moonbeam is gonna go on that one
Okay.
just immediately. Poof.
Yeah, because I'm saying he used his reaction to bite you. He doesn't have any movement to go back under the sand. Is the way I feel about it.
Mm.
All
Well,
right. So,
yeah.
so if
Is-
you're gonna
is-
moonbeam him.
Moonbeam,
Moonbeam.
It's a con save.
don't beam the moon.
I'll beam.
He did indeed save against it. So does he take half
Oh.
damage?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
half
So
damage.
5.
I just put the blue dot because of concentration.
And he looks like he's having a bad
Whoops.
day.
My bad.
Beautiful.
Ignore that.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Otho, there's other things happening before your turn, which is why your bell hasn't gone off yet.
Yeah, that's
You
fine.
guys just can't see everything yet because they're not exposed yet. Talah,
Yes.
does a 13 hit you?
No, because of Shield of Faith.
So,
Thank you, Othokent.
See, told you it helps.
another sand shark pops up here and nips at you but misses. And then it does dive back into the sand.
Oh my god, so if it doesn't hit, it can just go blah, 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 blah,
Well,
back into
it
the
still
sand.
had movement. which is the thing.
Oh.
That's what they should do is
Asshole.
what the great white sharks do and just ram you from below with their snout.
Yeah, but I've learned from videos that you just have to move towards the shark and boop their nose and then move them away from you.
Do me a favor. If you ever go to the ocean, don't do that.
Boop the shark on the nose. Boop.
Okay.
Depends on the shark.
Othokent,
Highly.
it is now your turn.
It depends on the shark.
Otho.
Yes.
It might
Are
work,
we
it might
going
not.
with that roll you did earlier? Because you did Toll of the Dead. Is that what you're still wanting to do?
Well, whether or not there's 1 or 20, I can only see the one. So, ding dong, motherfucker.
Okay, Wisdom save, DC 14. Dice roll.
go.
He did indeed make his save.
Motherfucker.
I think. Let me look. Yeah, it's a +0, so if it was a negative, it might have gotten it. But nope, it did unfortunately make it save against Toll of the Dead.
That shucks.
What else would you like to do?
Well, I'm going to take a quick look at my allies and say, so what's the plan if they keep burrowing?
Prepare attacks. Shoot them when they appear.
Well, if Talah's going to remove herself from it, they're going to have no targets.
Oh, they're gonna get a target in just a moment.
All right, making sure. I'll keep you alive then. That is going to be, well, I'm going to move a little. And that's going to be my.
All right. Nate, it is your turn, sir.
I'm gonna shoot you.
Pew
All
pew.
right.
Oh.
That hits.
Ew.
Exposed Sharky number 1 is not feeling very good at all.
And. Ew.
And boop the snoot.
That also hits.
Yay! Oh, in that case. That's great.
It looks really, really bad. Really bad. It's bleeding all over. It's got 3 arrows in it. This is not having the day it thought it was going to have.
It's got a bad
Yeah.
mortgage.
No.
You know.
You know. Anything else you'd like to do?
It stops the joke. It's broke.
For now, just I'm covering you, Talah. Gonna move on.
Are you sure you want me to move out of the sand if we can lure them out?
Then at least go into combat mode or something.
Sure! I've got an idea in mind.
Go into
All right.
bait
Answer.
mode.
Gobs, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Go get him.
I am going to move.
Okay, and make sure to trace out your path because it matters. Wherever you're going, make sure I see it.
I put down every single step along the way.
Okay, you're good?
Once I am there, I am going to cast Eldritch Blast on that thing.
On me? Oh.
Okay, go for it.
Just get real close to Talah and go, hey, Talah!
First
Pew!
blast.
You thought you were supposed to be afraid of the arm.
Turns out I'm
It's a
even
blast.
more scary.
The second blast hits,
For 13 points of force damage.
and it pretty much explodes when you do that, and it is dead. Sharky 1 is dead.
What else are you doing?
Other than that, I'm just gonna be really loud and just stomp the ground like, come here, you sand burrowing bitches! Trying to provoke them, just make noise or something.
Okay, awesome.
And that's my
Any-
turn.
Abraham, what would you like to do?
Hang on a second. So these things are attracted to sound?
I have no
I
clue.
don't know.
I don't know.
You can make an Arcana check to see if you know what they are.
Sure.
Yeah, you would know that they are actually a
Shark.
lizard type of species that evolved similarly along the lines of sharks, but with special little spikes they use to crawl through sand. They are not blind, but they primarily do sense vibration.
Hmm.
Which is their primary way that they find things.
Don't have that spell prepared. But it largely doesn't matter. Just wish I knew where they were, because the idea is to throw down a thunderball in the middle of the sand. It's a fireball, but does some thunder damage. Do I go for the cart south of Milla, or do I go for the open area north of Milla?
Go for Milla's feet.
You do have a bonus to your dexterity saving throws.
That I do.
Was it 20 feet radius?
Uh,
So that's a 40-foot diameter sphere.
Thought fireball's 20 feet diameter.
it's big.
Radius.
Is it
20-foot radius sphere.
Yeah.
It is big, is what it is. Also, my moonbeam is still up. So it should also still be located here.
Kaboom.
I don't remember. What was the size
Well,
of
it wouldn't be
the
40,
moonbeam?
it'd be 20.
Yeah, 20, then 40 total. Reach that.
So mine is a 5-foot radius, but 40-foot high.
I mean, there's nothing on that cart, right? It's all dry rot and useless.
As far as Talah could tell.
I'm going to hold action.
I found food and water. There might be explosives. I don't know.
I'm going to hold action to cast an attack spell. If you need me to declare which attack spell, I will oblige.
Yes. You would have to tell me exactly what spell you're going to be doing
Okay.
and what the trigger is.
A modified Scorching Ray when one or more pops out.
Okay. Modified in what way?
I was going to throw some thunder damage on it instead of fire.
Thunder damage. Okay.
Just letting you know it's modified since it might come up like you
Sure.
can prepare the thunder version when you ready your action.
But that's why I'm asking, just so I know specifics.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Anything else you? Well, you're holding action, so that's the end of your turn.
I might step up to like that's not the select tool. Step up to the edge, like right here, and just like looking around.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, that's it.
Talah, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm first going to wild shape into a giant scorpion.
Okay. I don't
Ooh,
have a
perfect.
giant scorpion token handy, I don't think.
I sent you an image if you want to
Oh,
use
yeah,
that.
but then I'd have to.
If you
Make
want
it
to.
a
You don't
token.
have to, but
Hold on. Hold on.
I'm holding on.
Let me look.
I'm going to keep on keeping on.
No, that's not what I meant to do. Really? Does this one not have a token? Curses.
Be cursed. It's a weird token.
Okay, we're just gonna pretend you're a scorpion. 'Cause I don't
Okay,
have it.
then just up me a
it'd be
size, I
pain.
guess. Because I'm a large now.
Yep,
Big
she's a big
Talah.
scorpion now.
I'm big. Right.
Yeah, I can see the pincers.
Yeah, definitely. Just like.
That tail, though.
Weird, she's a scorpion. I always thought she was waspish.
Actually,
Wait, how could you white Anglo-Saxon Protestant?
I'm more like a
Whatever.
mosquito. I am this annoying sound you have in your ears.
I thought you were gonna go for the whole sucking thing about mosquitoes.
No, actually.
All right, let's keep
Let's
going.
move on. What are you doing?
Alright.
So I am going to move, and as soon as something is gonna come up, I'm going to claw at it. So I'm just gonna move around a bit.
Stop right there.
All right.
Because a lot of things are going to happen. So give
Okay.
me just a moment.
All good. Let me just put my temporary hit points here, so I can,
Oop.
take from that first.
And
There.
boop.
And
And
get
they
a
are going-
calculator because I'm bad at maths.
They are going to take their attacks because they were waiting, and they get advantage because there's more than one of them.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
17 hit.
Does the Shield of Faith up the armor class of the Scorpion as well?
I don't see why it wouldn't.
Well, then it would be 17.
So if it meets, it beats, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you take 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And then the second one also hits.
Okay.
And you take another 7 points of damage as these two pop out and take bites at your spidery little legs. At this point that they're up, we will let's let the held actions go first. So Abraham, you had a held action to Scorching Ray modified. Go.
Yes. And the range on that's like, what, 120 feet for each ray? 90 feet?
I don't know off the top of my head.
120 feet, so I can easily reach them all.
Yeah, you can reach them without a problem.
So I don't need to cast through my spirit. So it's coming from me.
Pew, pew, pew.
All right.
Both of them are unhurt, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm just going to send 2. Actually, I'm going to send 2 to the one next to Milla and 1 to the one to the north. So
Okay. So 2 to this one, 1 to the other. Got it.
and I'll just do it that in that order, the 2 first, then the single.
Sure.
I assume they all hit.
Yes, they do indeed all hit.
Okay. That's thunder damage.
Okay.
Beams of sound.
Yeah, I just shot sonic rays like in Star Wars Battle of Geonosis. I just want to see if there's any like reaction to that. Just as a curiosity.
Yeah, they definitely do not like it.
So you
Put it
fired
that
up
way.
Base camp.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Talah, you said as soon as they popped up, you were going to stop and do something about it.
Yeah, so basically now I'm out of reach, so I would move back into reach first.
Sure.
And then the Scorpion has a beautiful multi-attack thing to make 3 attacks, 2 with claws and 1 with the sting.
Go for it.
So it's going to be a claw at each of them.
Okay.
So I don't have this in my sheet yet, so I'm going to have to just type it in. So, yes, that one. So first claw. Terrible. Second one. Terrible. Why? Why? And then I'll use a sting on this one. Because why not?
I cast the Curse of Nexus rolls on Talah.
What the hell? Seriously?
Did you roll 3 threes in a row?
Yes, I did.
Can I have my rolls back, please?
Hey, it's 777. Jackpot.
Jackpot.
So what do I earn?
Ding, 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 ding.
So Talah, you don't hit anything, but you do get 500 credits.
Yeah, right.
Can I just have 500 gold pieces then?
Buried.
What's
Just rain
credits?
from the sky.
Honestly, this is very sad because every claw attack that would have hit would have grappled them, so there would have been two just ready to be hit for you guys. The entire reason I turned into the scorpion was so I could just grab him.
Grapple. Yeah.
God damn it. Okay,
Out of curiosity,
Well,
can you roll the attack once more just to see if it rolls 3 again?
fucking fine. Nope, there it goes.
Okay,
Of course.
Of course not.
Of course. I mean, why would I need rolls that are good enough for anything? Right?
Next asks himself that all the time.
So, Gobs,
Ugh.
What's up?
does an 11 hit you?
No, it doesn't.
But
My AC is currently 21.
he is now exposed.
Hello.
And he's going to stay right where he's at. The shark next to Talah, the first one, is going to try to bite you again. Does a 15 hit?
No. Now roll a 7.
Oh wait, he gets advantage. I forgot.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Does a 22 hit?
No. No.
Yes, it
I
does.
refuse.
So
I refuse.
You take 7 damage from the first one.
Ugh.
The
Watch me
second
pop
shark,
back into my own form before I get to do anything. Yeah.
our second sharky shark,
Yeah.
is going to slither to here, and
Why?
is still going to bite you.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because it wants to.
But I didn't do
does it-
anything to it.
Does a 20 hit?
No.
Yes, but you were the bigger meal. You take 3 points of piercing damage as Sharky Shark bites you.
Okay. I'm sad.
Othokent,
Sad.
it is your turn.
Alright, so they've just started chewing into my giant scorpion friend, yeah?
Yeah.
Correct.
That's rude.
Also, I got someone else to watch our stream. It's one of my friends. Hi, Chantal.
Hello, new friend.
Greetings and salutations. So, considering the current state of events, I am going to say a word. Healing word
On who?
on the Scorpiones.
On the Buggy Bug Girl? Alright,
Yeah.
so...
Heal me.
Unbug ass.
Are you within range?
It is 60 feet, so
Alright,
definitely.
Cool. I figured it was, but I wanted to make sure.
Yep, that is fine.
Holy.
So where did my moonbeam go? Because that should still be going.
I mean, have you rolled concentration checks?
No.
Can you keep
It's not on the
concentration
map.
when you wild shape?
Yeah.
Yes.
You just can't cast. You buff then shift.
Is it a bonus action to move it?
Yes.
Okay, well then you should have told me that. That's on you.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
So-
next turn, just remember, because as far as I'm aware, it's still sitting on the dead guy down there. It's continuing to cook his body that was blown
Beautiful.
apart by an Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
And
Okay. So no concentration checks either. Just
And-
because.
Nah, we'll leave it up since you forgot it. That's not a big deal.
And since I
Beautiful.
still have my action left, the wounded one, the bloodied one, is gonna go ding dong dead.
It does take the damage,
Ding dong
Hey.
dead.
and it looks very, very, very rough as its bleeding out of all of its orifices.
So it's not dead. You lied to us,
Orpheus.
girly.
It's not dead, but it's
I-
not feeling good.
I tried.
You said ding dong dead. It's just
Ah.
ding dong hurt.
Fine, Talah, next time heal yourself then.
No. No.
Anyways, that's
No.
my turn.
Awesome. Nate, what would you like to do, sir?
So I'm gonna shoot.
Gobs.
Good Gobs, do it.
Very
Immediately.
tempted.
End her rightly.
Go.
No, but right next to Gobs.
Mm-hmm.
This one over here.
Okay.
And it's gonna be the sharpshooter. Watch me miss. Watch me nay.
That hits.
You were saying.
Wow, you fail at everything. You even fail at missing.
There we go.
Now I feel bad for saying
26
that. I'm
points
sorry.
of damage. Woof.
You do feel bad. Jesus, you cursed it.
Yeah.
That is on you.
Yeah, you strike it very solidly.
I take full responsibility.
The
So that
second
net one-
goes straight for Gobs.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Just because
For his
Doc
sass.
kind of cursed
Yeah.
it. So just roll the damage, and then that is what Gobs takes, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that
that's
was your
fair.
second attack. For some reason, I thought that was additional damage. Let me put 7 hit points back on.
I mean, we can say it was that.
No, it wasn't. All right. What else would you like to do, sir?
Nothing.
Gobs.
I really
is your
just want
turn.
another try at grabbing these fucks.
I appear to be surrounded.
Mm-hmm. Those poor bastards.
That's right.
I'm gonna
Just-
take a single step here.
What was it that one general said? Now we're surrounded. Now we don't have to worry about which way we shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to utilize a cantrip.
You have an extra action and more
I'm-
movement.
I'm aware.
Okay.
I am going
cool.
to cast Sword Burst, which is 2d6 damage. Both of them have to make a dexterity saving throw. It's a
So you're
cool
gonna deal-
spell, and I want to use it.
Okay.
What's the DC?
The DC is 15.
Okay. They both make it.
Damn it.
18 and a 20.
Okay.
Did they take half damage?
No, they take nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. Oh, it would have been cool. Oh well. I'm going to deliberately move here. Will it take its attack?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Does a 10 hit you?
No, it does not.
And now the arm eats it.
Now I'm going to attack the thing between me and Talah.
No!
You have advantage on.
Go for
Why?
it.
Why not that one?
How am I gonna grab it if you kill it?
You have another one. Okay, so that is the hammer arm, and that is with the extra attack I get from haste.
Mm-hmm.
21.
That hits.
For that, ignore the first one. It's not supposed to have hex on. My bad.
That's okay. 12 points of damage is enough to kill
But-
it.
And I still have some movement because I've only moved 10 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna move.
You're gonna move it.
That was a bit too much. That actually. How do you cancel move?
You do not.
Yeah,
Just
there we
let
go.
it go and then move back to where you were.
I found it. I found it.
Redo.
That's my turn. I have
Okay.
60 feet of movement. Might as well use it.
Correct.
Fair.
Also, in the hopes of getting more of them bird underground to attack me as I'm running past them, was my hope.
Mm-hmm. Abraham, it is your turn.
2 up.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
He's thinking.
Okay, just heard 2 up and then nothing.
He is in his mind
So
palace.
Mind Palace, correct. I would like to cast a thunderous magic missile to hit the one on the other side of Talah.
Okay.
You guys really just don't want me to be able to grab anything, do you?
Okay, I'll hit the one that's in front of
Nah.
Milla.
Just hit what you want to hit.
This is my dinner.
Oh my word. Abraham, do whatever you want. Ignore them.
I'd like to roll min damage for every yard.
Can you just hit one of the dead ones?
I'll deal minimal damage to the one that I originally targeted, Talah. How about that?
Yeah,
Thunder
sure.
damage.
Sure.
Okay, so we're going back to the other one. Let me put hit points back on this guy.
Lovely.
Right. It definitely takes some damage. Definitely does not look happy about its life.
That'll be it for me.
All right.
Talah, it's your turn.
So let's try this again, shall we?
Grab your hands.
Yeah, let's try and... There's another 7, but this one turns into an 11. Does that do anything?
Unfortunately, that does not hit.
Well, fine, then we'll do the other one on the same one. No. What the hell? Stinger. 12.
That hits.
Yay!
You're just not used to like you've been a spider before. These claws things, they're unwieldy, but you're like, hey, I like tails. Stabby stabby.
Yeah. So that's 7 points piercing damage, and it has to make a Constitution save of a DC of 12.
Please fail, please fail.
It does indeed make it save.
Damn.
Well, then it's gonna take half of this.
Wow! It doesn't matter.
Is that tail or poison?
That is the poison.
Poison.
It's 40-10.
Jesus.
It's 40-10 poison damage on the failed save, or half as much on a successful one. So that's boom.
Yeah, it starts spasming hard. Foam comes out of its mouth. It squeals in agony and dies.
Kinda like the bullet.
And then I'm gonna bonus
Are you
action move my freaking moonbeam onto this one.
Okay.
Now, would you like to grapple it?
Yes, actually,
graboid it.
I do want to grab it.
What's the save for Moonbeam?
1 sec. I need to check. 15.
It does not make it save.
Beautiful.
Okay. All right. Would you like to move at all?
Yeah, why not? Because there's the sand sharks. Yeah, well, fuck that. I'm gonna move here.
Okay. All right.
And then I'm
Gobx.
gonna stand there menacingly.
Yeah. What's up?
It is going to attempt to dive into the sand and escape from you. You will get an attack of opportunity.
I will take it. I was not
That
supposed to be
hits.
with advantage, so it's just a 16.
Still hits.
For that much, and I'm also using Fear of the Small. So it's a 3 additional damage. 9.
As it turns to dive into the sand, you kill it.
Just backhanded, batted away.
Yeah, so it's half sticking out of the sand.
Yeah.
And everybody at this point, you see no more unnatural movement of the sands around you. I do need perception checks from everybody, though. This is audio-based, not visual, in case that matters to anybody.
Advantage on all perception checks due to the Sentinel shield, so...
So the giant
9.
scorpion has blind sight of 60 feet. I don't know if that does anything.
No, it does not.
Other than that, I am done with my rolls for today.
Nate and Abraham, you hear a bellowing voice coming kind of from... There's like a divot in the sand going down towards that ziggurat you saw, and you just hear, Fifi, Zozo, Toto, Frank, where are you? Papa's ready to feed. And you just hear that repeated over and over again, this loud booming voice coming from that direction.
Oh no.
We need to go, and now.
I think there's someone coming. An owner of sorts.
I think these are pets, and we just killed them, and now the owner is coming.
We should go, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Come on, awaken to mind. Let's leave.
Yeah, let's just go.
All right, so you guys are going to leave and not explore the ziggurat or the booming voice, correct?
So, probably. I don't know. But I have...
That got awkward real fast.
I have 40 feet of movement, so if people would allow me to just grab hold of him, right, and pick him up,
I have...
Look, this is a
and
whole
maybe
map we're
someone
just
on my,
ignoring.
and then maybe someone on my back, and then we go.
I have 60
away.
feet of movement.
Well, fuck you then.
Pip jumps on.
You run yourself. I'll just grab the others and go, because I can hold 2 in my hands, claws,
Grab him with your
grabby,
stinger.
and then
But
one on my back.
But it's only for a minute until Abraham decides no.
So you guys are able to skirt around the ziggurat.
Skirt.
As you get on the other side of it, you continue to travel for the rest of the day. As you get towards the end of the day, you break through the rocky portion and are entering just pure sand dunes again. And on the horizon, you see a gigantic, sky-blotting out sandstorm in front of you.
That seems potentially problematic.
You can see lightning striking and arcing through it. Anybody who has nature trained can give me a nature check.
I'm a druid. What did you expect?
Mm-hmm. Does anybody else have nature trained?
No.
All right. So, Talah, as you look at this, you realize this is not a natural storm. It is rotating clockwise, and it's rotating. Sandstorms don't rotate. They go in a single direction.
Right.
It's not moving at all. It is not normal. But it is directly in the path that you guys are going. But you guys are able to camp down for the night. So go ahead and take your long rest as is appropriate.
Yay, rest.
Yay!
Yay!
I get a wild shape back. Now I can turn into that thing 2 times next day. And possibly grab stuff.
As we get up the next morning, I need somebody who is yet to have rolled a d6 to do so for me. And Nate, as always, I need your survival check to keep you and your team on the proper line.
Well, since Gobx cursed me.
I cursed you? I'm sorry.
Okay.
What up, I'm
Yeah.
back.
I clearly did. I'm so sorry.
And I do need Constitution saving throws from everybody.
Oh God,
This time
Abraham's
without
dying.
advantage.
Oh God. We're all dying now. Except for Milla, apparently. Because she decides to eat us. That's what happens.
Yeah, we were starving. No, I could eat.
All right. Nate, Abraham, take a point of exhaustion.
How about me? I was updating Girly
I
real
didn't
quick.
see you. Yes, you also take a point of exhaustion.
Yay!
So remember, we're
That's
using
a
my
-1 to
exhaustion rules,
everything.
or it's just a -1 to everything.
Yeah. And you can have up to 10 levels of exhaustion, I believe,
Yep.
right?
And at 10, you die.
Yeah.
Gobs, you're fine. You're fine. In fact, you're kind of invigorated. The fight yesterday kind of got the blood pumping and shook out some of the boredom cobwebs you've had of 12 days of walking in yellow sand. Has been more taxing on your mind than anything. So that interaction was actually helpful to you.
It was exciting the first day. It was new, and then it got
You got
old
bored.
real
You
quick.
got real bored.
Yeah.
It is an absolutely clear day, other than the storm that's in front of you. And the sun has already risen, and it's already hotter than it has been any other day. Over the next 2 days, you continue heading what you believe to be due east
East?
or west. I'm sorry, I keep saying east, and I don't mean to.
Due
West.
yeast. We're going to the baker.
Yep,
Do yeast.
yep, or the red light district, whichever.
I mean, I'm in the Netherlands, so Amsterdam, let's go.
Going to visit Nari soon. Anyways,
You're welcome anytime.
Poisonous. It's dangerous.
So,
You wanted to look at the ziggurat?
The cigar?
yeah. So
I
I just
Yeah,
think
it
it's
was
funny that we
interesting.
just walked away from, but it's probably an entire map. It's just I guess we're not doing that.
Yeah, probably.
That's okay. Let me put it this way. You remember my conversation about loot that I was worried about you guys having? I'm not worried about that anymore for some reason. But anyways, we're going to continue. As you guys continue over the next couple days, it is a longer slog. You're moving a bit slower because of this. And with each step, the storm in front of you grows larger and larger and larger. As
What
you
was
guys
the
are getting
storm called?
closer and closer to it, is there anything you guys would like to do? As you've gotten to the point where you know, as you're bedding down for this last evening, the next day's travel will put you into the storm itself.
Yeah, I do want to just talk with the group about this. So, this storm was like the storm of fate, right?
I mean, it's not natural in any way.
No, I mean, it was specifically called the storm of fate, right?
Think so?
And apparently, no one really comes out of it.
Apparently, you meet your fate when you're in there, and it's an ambiguous statement regarding some sort of visionary thing that you experienced passing through it. And, well, who knows what meeting your fate actually means? It's a cryptic phrase. Does it mean that you find out where you need to be in life and you figure out that, hey, my past life is bullshit and need to move on? Or does it mean that you get teleported to some magical, fantastical place? That is your perfect place for fate.
Yeah, I've just been thinking, meet your fate could also be just dying.
There is that.
All we know that there's a wall of death.
Pretty much what we do is have one dwarf's word that his sister's on the other side.
Yeah, I'm just saying, in case it is a wall of death. I just wanted to say that I've had a lot of fun traveling with you guys, and I really enjoy your company, and thank you for putting up with me. Okay, I'm done with feelings now.
Well, that means you're first, then.
Yeah, I'm going in first. Bye!
Is there any kind of arcana check or anything magical about that I could do to infer or gain any knowledge on this?
No.
You can feel arcane energy being tossed around like mad from the storm. Those lightning bolts, when you see them now, you actually see that they are, each time it happens, they can be different colors. I will say, just to make it easier on you, at some point you do cast Detect Magic. Those different colors of lightning, every time you see it, you get a different pulse of a different type of magic.
including some you can't identify.
So you guys rest that evening. You get up the next morning. You're so close under the giant sandstorm that it's even hard to see the sun. You're almost in a perpetual amount of shade in the morning because of the direction the sun would come up. So it is actually a little bit cooler here. Everybody that had a point of exhaustion, and you get it back because you've had a full rest again. And this is where you guys decide the path that you're going to continue from here. Would you? Are we? This is where you need to decide if you're going to walk into the storm that's in front of you, and also I would need to know the order that you go in if somebody goes in.
I mean, I'm curious. Is this storm like? Because it's not natural.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have like? Is it like a column thing, like Moonbeam? Like, does it have a certain height to it?
You can't see the top of it.
Okay.
It is. All you can see at this point, because you're close enough, when you look to the east, you see a wall of swirling sand.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
it. And it's
Okay.
thick enough that it's dark, right? It's not like it's a thin wall of sand. It is a monstrous sandstorm.
Right. I'm curious about something, but I'm gonna have to look into that myself. Whether I can turn into anything that burrows, digs, in a way where people can possibly follow the tunnel that I'm digging. I'm open for suggestions.
Wait, so you're suggesting we dig in instead of walk in?
My suggestion is that I start digging a tunnel because I can stay in a form for 3 hours, and that we travel through that, just ignoring the storm, pretty much.
I mean, if it's magic in nature, I'm not sure it's gonna work, but I'm down for trying it. I don't mind being a
Exactly.
tunnel rat.
So that's why I'm thinking whether there is anything I can use. I mean, the thing I can see in this list that I have open is a giant badger.
Badgers? We don't need no stinking badgers.
So you don't need
Nature suction
Hufflepuffs.
cups.
Gotcha.
Turtles. Nature suction cups.
Would Mr.
Such a
Grissom know
stupid
anything
movie.
about what to do about the storm if it's magical?
Power beyond my ability to manipulate would be my guess, considering the size alone.
I mean, we just need to make a corridor.
I still think the sheer magical force goes beyond anything that, well, all of us would be able to conjure together.
Well, here, if you want me to try, my best attempt would be this, and I cast a spell magic versus the
roll
storm.
Roll that check.
Alright, so yeah, the only thing I can find is the
Great.
giant badger. So. You know what? Sure. When we're like at the edge of it, I'm gonna turn into a giant badger and start digging.
Okay. One thing that I will say as you guys get closer to it,
There's the
it
check.
does not dispel with a 17. Good try though. As you get closer, one of the other things you notice that's strange, despite this massive whirling storm of wind and sand and arcane energy, you don't feel any wind as you get closer and closer to it. So let me ask this, because I want to make sure I'm not making assumptions. So you guys are all proceeding to be about 20, 30 feet away from the storm wall? Is that
Ish,
correct?
yeah. I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not gonna change
Nate,
into the thing.
Othokent,
Hmm.
are you two going along as well?
I'm gonna try this, and yes, and then suggest if we could try shooting it.
I need you to roll when you hit that. I need you to roll an intelligence saving throw. DC 25.
Oh,
Wait, what?
an intelligence save.
I need you to do an
25.
intelligence saving throw DC 25
On
Can you
detect
make
the
that?
portal?
on detect portal.
Can you
Yep.
make that?
Not even remotely.
Nope. Nope.
Oh,
He might get a
God.
nat 20.
-1.
Make it a 5.
He rolled a 6.
Yes.
You take 26 points of psychic damage as soon as you open yourself up to that type of energy to try to detect it. The entire storm wall is a massive swirl of thousands and thousands of portals to thousands and thousands of planes, and just that sheer overwhelming energy suddenly opening yourself to it almost blows you into a stroke.
Yeah, Nate falls over half dead.
Yeah, bleeding from his ears, his nose, his eyes.
Medic.
Put tampons in his nose. He'll be fine.
What happened?
I just tried to check for portals. You know, all that planar stuff.
Yeah.
And that whole thing is filled to the brim with it.
Are you okay?
No.
Bullshit.
I'm treating you best I can, Nate. Do lie still. All right. Well, if we are going into this, I'm going to try and give us as best a chance we can get. I am going to cast Blade at 3rd level, hitting everyone.
Excellent.
So just because I'm kind of worried still, I'm only gonna put my hand into the storm at first to see if something happens, if I can feel any wind or whatever.
Feel your hand teleported to another plane of existence, but the rest of you
Yes.
stays behind.
Yes.
Okay, so Talah is walking up to the edge of the storm. Is anybody doing anything to stop, prevent, say anything as she starts to reach to put her hand in?
Stop!
Yeah.
We should, if this is
I'm not
all
stopping.
one, we should go together.
I'm not stopping.
Talah, don't.
As
Why?
Talah places her hand into the storm, she's immediately jerked off of her feet, pulled into the storm, and disappears.
I'm
As you hear her-
immediately gonna run after.
I'm gonna run after. Abraham is going to run after Gobs and try to, like, this foolishness. What are you doing?
Trying to save
I'm not
Talah.
sure we can hear anything from you, Talah.
Yeah, Talah, you actually, Nari, you can mute your microphone.
Okay, beautiful.
Gobs, I believe you're faster than Abraham, or at least as fast as Abraham, correct?
Yeah.
Not
As fast.
slower. Oh yeah. Okay.
Why would I
Are
be
you
slower?
going to? Are you going to do anything magically to stop her, or just going to try to physically stop her? I see you, Nate. Nate's in second while you're trying to chase her and she's trying to avoid you. Nate dives in and disappears.
I'm done.
Abraham, are you doing anything
I'm gonna
magically to stop
I'm gonna try to grab Gobs to prevent her from going in. Like grabbing
Well,
on her arm.
She's faster than you, and she took the initiative, so you won't be able to physically catch her.
What's what
Or
I'm
she's
trying to
as
do.
fast as you.
You asked me to describe what my character's trying to do.
Okay, so you're chasing after Gobs. Gobs
Mhm.
dives in, and you fall in behind her.
Reaching for her. Yeah.
Yep. So everybody is entered except for Othokent. Othokent, what are you doing?
Oh dear God, here we go. As Othokent walks in with his head in his hand.
Excellent. Here's
I
what I
like-
need.
I like that he's just walking in like, oh god.
I need absolutely everybody to mute their microphones.
All right, and yeah, it'll just It'll just be on the headset. Is that fine?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
As long as you say, because I just don't want you guys responding during this portion. Nari. Talah.
Yeah?
You wake up in your bed at home.
What?
Yep. You wake up in your bed at home.
Gonna get up?
Okay. It's your same old room you're used to. Some of the like art you made when you were a kid and different drawings seem to be
Yeah.
missing and replaced with different things. There's a couple medals laying around, which you're like, that's kind of weird. I don't remember competing in anything, but for the most part, it's your room, like you would expect it to be.
I'm going to. Do I still have everything on me that I had before touching this storm? Right? So.
You're actually in your
Mentoring gear.
pajamas. You're in a
Okay.
pair of pajamas. You can see your bag sitting on the floor. I want you to do an investigation check when you see your bag.
11.
It's definitely your bag. It looks a bit more worn, weather worn and weather beaten than you remember it, but yeah,
Right.
it's your bag.
I'm going
And
to check whether my journal is still in there.
your
My
journal is
notebook.
not in there.
All right. I am going to frantically search for it in my desk and drawers and everything.
You don't see it anywhere in here.
Well, then I'm gonna go out of my room. Is everything still the same there?
As you step out of your room into the hallway that leads down to the living room and the kitchen, you can hear your mother humming, and the clangs of skillets and things like that. And you smell bacon and eggs and hash browns, and you can hear the mixer on, which means she's making those walnut pancakes that you love so very much.
Oh. So I still have every recall memory thing of what
Mhm.
happened before I woke up here, yeah?
Mhm.
Alright, so yeah, tears are gonna just go down Talah's face, and she runs down to go meet her mom.
So you run into the kitchen. Your mom is literally pulling some thick cut bacon. You can tell she sprinkled a little bit of brown sugar on it to give it that kind of mapley syrup flavor to it. So semi candied bacon. She's getting that out of the skillet, and you just grapple her from behind. She goes, "Oh, well, good morning to you too, sweetheart."
Mom, uh, how is this possible?
I mean, I've taught you how to make this bacon before, Tala. It's not that hard. You just got to make sure the temperature's not too high so you don't scald the brown sugar when it melts.
Just
You need to eat up. I assume you're running a bit late if you're going to meet the boys before you go to your office.
my office?
Well, Miss Mayor, yes, your office. But you only have a half day today. I made sure. Remember, you always get a half day today, so you can spend time with your brother and Nate.
I'm just gonna take a step back, just kind of in disbelief.
Something you notice that's strange about your mother. She's noticeably older, more lines on her face, more gray in her hair. Um, yeah, so she's definitely a bit older than you remember the last time you saw her. And she's humming to herself, and she gets the bacon out and sets it down on the table. She's got the pancakes out and everything. She goes, "Whew, yeah." Um, I've got the basket on the front porch with the flowers that you wanted.
thanks.
Here, let's do this. We used to do this when you're in a hurry because I want to make sure you have time. And she takes the pancakes and she puts the bacon and the scrambled eggs in it and folds them together and kind of uses the pancake like a tortilla to make breakfast burritos.
Burrito.
And she goes, here, and she wraps it up in like a cheesecloth and goes, here. I don't want you to be late, so go ahead, grab the flowers off the front porch and get going, okay?
Yeah. See you when I get back.
Yep. See you this evening, sweetheart. So confusingly, you step out onto the front porch and you see two separate baskets of flowers. One of them are your normal white with yellow core daisies, which you know are Nate's favorite. And then there are some purple tulips, which were always your brother's favorite. He never liked admitting he liked flowers. But anytime you'd bring home a bunch of flowers, he'd always pick out the purple tulips and set them aside. He always liked those. So you've got two baskets full of flowers waiting for you out on the front porch. Fresh cut early this morning. Mom's garden that's off to the left of the house as you step off the front porch. You can tell that's where they were cut from. So Mom's been up early.
Yeah, so in Talah's head, it's just gonna go like, was everything a dream then? What is going on? This is weird.
You see Mrs. Johnson, who's the wife of the local butcher. She's walking her dog, and she walks past you and goes, "Oh, good morning, Mayor."
Good morning.
And just keeps walking.
Gonna pick up the baskets and make my way to the town hall.
Okay. As you're walking through, the town's definitely seen some changes. One of the things that you can notice almost immediately is there's now a wooden pike wall around the official part of the city of the town, which wasn't there before. You guys never had a wall.
Uh-huh.
The bakery that you would always visit looks like it's been rebuilt. So it's not the same old building. Something happened where they had to rebuild the whole thing. You see a couple buildings like that, new houses here and there, and things like that, which is a bit strange. Um, as you're walking through, there's now uh, armed patrols of twos that you see from time to time at the entrances and exits and walking through town. Every time any of these groups of people pass you, they stop and they put their hand over their chest and nod their head and go, "Mayor," and then continue walking.
I'll just nod to them.
Yeah, you pass the schoolhouse, the same old elvish lady that's been teaching everybody for the last 200 years sees you and goes, "Oh, good morning, Talah, dearest."
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Miss Hedgewig. And she's like, "Oh, it's a beautiful morning, isn't it?"
Definitely. Just
Yes, yeah.
had a strange night, so trying to
Oh,
get my bearings.
well, we all have those from time to time. Every once in a while, I dream of a young man I used to chase, and you know, it happens to all of us ladies. Don't worry about it. We're better off without them, aren't we?
I'm not so
That was
sure.
insensitive of me to say on today of all days. I'm sorry, Talah. Are you going to visit the boys?
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Well, if you see Nate's mother, make sure to tell her that I send my love, and if she needs anything, to let us know.
Of course. I'm getting this very sinking feeling right now about visiting the boys. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep going for now. Just yeah.
Okay. You make it to the town hall without too much trouble. You pass some of the other people around, right? Everybody waves to you, says hello to you, says good morning, hi,
Yeah.
Mayor. Everybody pretty much addresses you as Mayor. And you get to the town hall. part of it is brand new, part of it is not. Part of it's like the front door and everything's all as it was.
Yeah.
But like the right half of the building looks like something had happened to it. You can actually see some wear of old damage that's been repaired, and part of the building's been rebuilt. As you walk in, there is a young man sitting there. This was actually a childhood friend of yours and Nate's. He was about 8 years younger than you guys. His name is Sam, and Sam is sitting there and goes, "Oh, Mayor, I thought you weren't going to be in this morning. I don't have any of your paperwork ready."
Just half a day. Um, so I suppose that's okay. You can
Yes,
see
I'll,
what.
I'll have it ready by the time you get back from lunch. Or have you gone? Have you gone to see? Have you gone to see Pippin yet?
Not yet. Um, I'm gonna go there soon.
All right. Well, I'll have your lunch ready when you're done visiting, um, and I'll make sure that you're not disturbed. I know it takes you a little bit to get back in the mayoring mood after you visit, but it's
Mm,
okay. Um, is there anything I can do to help you?
Um, I don't think so.
All right. Well, I'll get everything lined up for the docket today. The local mothers are wanting to file a complaint about the old teacher again. They think that she's being too strict and assigning too much homework. And I tried to tell them that that's not really the mayor's job. That's something that they could address directly to the teacher. But you know how it is. You fix everything. So they like to bring all these even little problems to you. But I guess little problems are better than some of the troubles we've had in the past, right? So, so if
Right.
you can handle what you've gone through, saving the world and everything, and then coming back home and saving us, then you can handle a bunch of mothers, right? uh,
Definitely. I was actually thinking of checking out the archives for a bit. Just look through some old records.
all right. Sure. What kind of records are you looking for?
Well, specifically about what happened to the town we just talked about.
Oh, you're wanting. Are you sure today of all days you want to look over that? I mean, it's been 8 years since the Battle of Mayfrost. Today.
Yes, I'm quite sure.
Well, we don't have any official records of the events. I mean, maybe the local newspaper would have something like that. I guess the biggest thing I could give you, if you really want to look over it and torture yourself with it, is the death certificates from that day.
I think that would be unnecessary. I was hoping there would be more like a report on the events.
You don't look like you feel very well, which is understandable. Did you have a bad dream or something? Are you having?
Something like
Do I
that.
need to get the doctor?
No, I don't think a doctor's necessary. Um, you know what? Forget I asked about the archives. I'm gonna go and visit uh Pip.
He'd appreciate that.
And just
You
with
know,
this sinking feeling of dread, I'm going to head to a graveyard because I have a feeling.
So as you continue to walk through town, and
Mhm.
as you pass people, and people start to notice the direction you're headed, um, you see all the men that you pass definitely have a somber look on their face.
Yeah.
Um, all the women get teary eyed. You make it to the graveyard, and there's a new section of the graveyard. The graveyard is probably twice as full as you remember it being. The new section does have a sign that says over it, it says Heroes of the Battle of the Mayfrost. And you do see one other person. There's a older dwarven lady, which you recognize. This is the forge master's wife. She also had a son whose name was Barry Stonebeard. And he was in the same grade as you and Pippin. You didn't like him very much. He was kind of a jerk. But she's kneeled in front of a grave that's off to the left. You can see her, picking the weeds out and setting out some flowers and things like that. Give me a perception check.
Okay. I don't like where this is going. 9.
All of these are fairly identical. Give me just a second.
Of course, I'm rolling a 2 right here. I hate that all of you are muted. Fuck's sake.
Sorry about that. So even
That's
with
fine.
that low perception check, you do notice there's a row of graves towards the back that the There we go. My microphone's being goofy. There's a row at the back that the tombstones that you can see, they are engraved, but the engravings have been filigreed in gold as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk towards that.
As you get there, where are my notes? There is one on the right. Where is it? That says Bonzan Yargir, mayor, died defending the children at the schoolhouse. And then it has May 16th, 8 years ago. On the left, you see Atiz Yargir died at his father's side, holding the door against the heart of winter.
Okay.
To the left of Atiz, you see Pippin's tombstone. On that tombstone, it simply says, the best son, hero of the Battle of Gilgamesh, savior of the world, most beloved friend, slayer of the heart of winter. May 16th, 8 years ago.
At that point, Talah is just going to, I wouldn't say collapse, but just fall on her knees and just start screaming into the void, I suppose.
As you start to break down and get upset, you hear the dwarf woman go, "What are you crying about?" You finally realize it was all your fault?
My fault.
Aye, if you'd been here, they wouldn't have died. But no, you were off gallivanting in the mountains of winter, finding some new plant. I saw through you back when my wee Barry was a boy. You'd go, run off into the forest, get lost, and then the boys would all go in to try to find and save the damsel in distress Talah, yearning for her heart or her hand or her friendship, just a hug or a kind word. But you didn't understand, did you? You still don't, really. You were never the one who needed saving. You're the strong one. They're the weak ones. They're only strong when you're around. And you kept abandoning them. You dragged poor Pippin all the way across the world. Did something in some city, like who cares about that? And then you left him again. And he couldn't go with you because of his injuries. And then that thing came here looking for you, mad at Pippin for taking you away from him. You were off in some fey realm, learning from some summer hussy, doing whatever, I don't know. But that's why my Barry died, because you weren't here to help him. That's why Pippin's in the ground. That's why your papa's in the ground. You may be a decent mayor, but you're a terrible friend.
I never
And then
went-
she spits on you and starts to storm away.
Talah's just gonna sit there in silence, just staring at Pip's grave.
As you're staring at it and you start to cry, you get dizzy, world kind of spins, and you feel yourself getting tossed out on the hot, sandy ground. And that's where you need to mute your microphone.
All right. I'm gonna cry a bit more. Thank you.
Damn it. Pippin!
Yep.
You wake up. You're in your bed at home.
Yeah. Gonna jump out of bed and Talah, where are you?
As you jump out of bed, I immediately need a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage. DC 20. As you jump out of bed, you immediately fall to your right and slam hard on the floor. And then you go to start to get up and you go to push yourself up and you realize you can't push yourself up because you don't have a right arm. You also look down and realize the reason why you fell is your right leg below the knee is gone. To the side of your bed, you see an artificial leg with the leather straps and everything for attaching it to your knee is sitting there by the bed. And silly you weren't thinking, right? Maybe you're having some kind of weird dream about back in the day where you were globetrotting with Talah, and you completely forgot that you don't have an arm and a leg anymore, and you fell hard on the floor. You hear a light knock on your door. Pippin? Pippin, are you okay in there? And you obviously recognize the voice of your mother.
I'm fine. Give me a moment. Sorry.
All right.
Gonna try and put on the prosthetic. Get up.
It's a little tough. It's weird because you don't remember ever putting this on, but you've kind of got the muscle memory of sliding your leg in and strapping it on with your left hand. And then you're able to get up, and you've got that weird kind of stutter step limp. But yeah, you're able to get it on without a problem and start to walk through everything.
I'm gonna get dressed, I guess. What the heck? I'm confused. Gonna go out and open the door.
Yep. So you're able to get dressed without a problem. Your room looks like normal. It's a little bit more barren, right? Because you've never been much of a room person. There are two things that you do notice. You do have a vase filled with fresh cut daisies that were left there by Talah. She left yesterday. She's going back to the Fey realm to spend time with the Soul of Summer to try to learn the type of magic that would be needed to regrow your arm and your leg. So you weren't able to go with her because your father's been sick, and you're a bit worried about that. And also with you having trouble moving, you don't really leave town very much anymore, simply because it's hard for you to travel. You also notice the only other thing that's new is there's a picture in a picture frame that sits on top of your dresser, and it's of you in the hospital with your arm or your shoulder wrapped and your leg missing. And you see Gobs and Abraham, both Roscoe's, Othokent, and of course Talah standing around you, and you're all holding these medals, and you've got a medal hanging there on the side of the picture frame. So that's the aftermath of something. You can't really remember what, but you look at that and that gives you a good feeling. But yeah, you open the door, and where are you going? What you up to? Is my microphone not working again?
No, it is.
Okay, just making sure.
It's just a lot to take in. So, he's gonna head over to the living room.
Okay. As you head kind of downstairs and around, you get down to the living room and you smell Mom making breakfast. Hers is a bit more simple than the ones Gob's moms would make because she's also, getting medicine. Your dad's been fighting pneumonia. He's been very sick lately. And that's part of why you didn't go, because you wanted to be there to help. But she's making some broth for Dad, and then she's got like cereal set out for you. She's done oatmeal, but she put like bananas in it and strawberries and a little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of sugar to help sweeten it. So breakfast is waiting for you, but it's sitting there on the table, spoon on the left-hand side because she knows you can't do anything with your right.
Thank you.
Oh, not a problem. So Talah's off and about, huh?
Yeah. Working hard.
Yeah, well, she said that she always felt a little responsible for you getting hurt that bad because it was, you saving her from that giant orange dragon immune creature. I didn't even understand what the thing was you guys were fighting. Googaloo or something. But yeah, so she's always felt guilty about that, and I guess she's off to try to learn how to do something to heal it. But that's her. You give her a problem and she goes and fixes it. Maybe one day I look forward to when she's mayor. She can definitely set a lot of things right about this town that needs doing. Her dad is too soft-hearted. She's got a good head on her shoulders, though. But you need to eat up and get better because she's going to need your help when she gets back. I heard her dad talking about handing things off to her soon.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying. It's a bit rough.
I did talk to Greg at the general store. He is getting some mirrored glass for me so I can fix that mirror that you brought home that got broken. It's not magical, right? Because I know that wizard I made it for did some enchanting and stuff on it, but I can at least fix it so you can use it as a mirror again. It's more of a makeup mirror than for guys, but hey, if you want to look really good while you shave, I guess that'll work for you. I'm sorry. I know you were upset it was broken, but we'll get it fixed, okay? So that glass will be in about a week or so.
Okay.
Yeah, he had a friend in Burcoin that he reached out to who makes really good glass. Some like a Dryden, I think he said his name was. I think you said you met a Dryden on your travels, didn't you?
Yeah. Had an
Yeah.
interesting wife.
Yeah, maybe this afternoon. I've always wanted to know more about Heelbrim. Some of the novels I used to read were about, the horsemen of Heelbrim, and a great muscular horse rider would come in and sweep a young girl off of her feet and take her out, build a log cabin for her, and romance her and take care of her. I like those novels. Your dad always hated him because he's like, well, I don't have muscles like that. I tried to tell him that's not important. And she just continues to ramble about the romance novels and how her dad didn't like her. Your dad didn't like her reading it because it gave her bad ideas and expectations he couldn't live up to and stuff like that. So, but after a little bit, she goes, okay, well, I'm going to take this into your dad and give him his medicine and help him get cleaned up. But you got any plans for today?
I don't know.
Why don't you do this for me? The general store owner, Greg, he's got he mentioned that he needed to put in an order for a specific kind of wood. Why don't you go into town and talk to him and um, see what he's looking for and see if it's something we can actually help him out with.
Yeah. Sure. I'll do my darndest.
Excellent. All right, buddy. Just put your bowl in the sink and I'll take care of it when I'm done helping Dad out. Okay.
Yeah. Give him a hug from me.
Always. It's good to have you home. We missed you.
Miss you too.
She kisses you on the forehead and takes the tray with the broth and the several different prescription bottles on it and takes it back to their bedroom where Dad's resting.
Enjoying mom's breakfast for a bit and the whole feeling of this. Well, okay. What the heck? I guess I'll go help out.
So as you hobble out, there is one thing that you do notice. Laying by the door as you start to walk out, where you guys keep your walking sticks and everything. One, your bow is there and it's unstrung. But also next to it is a large, very fancy sword that is your sword. It's a bastard sword, a hand and a half sword, but it's kind of cut in a Arabic style. And
Yeah.
you don't know how you know this, but you know that is a +3 sword of Fey killing or Fey slaying. So it was something whenever you guys helped save the city of Gilgamesh, were given all kinds of awards, but one of them was you asked for this weapon because deep down inside, you're still worried about the mark that's on your back.
Yeah. Can I grab the sword for a bit and just hold it?
Yep, it's molded to your hand. It feels like second nature to hold the sword. And you notice on your belt, you've got a loop specifically for that sheath on your right side that makes it easy for you to draw it from your left.
And this feels right.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna put it in the sheath.
Yep.
Looking out over at the unstrung bow again.
Yeah, it's definitely heartbreaking because you could string it, but you can't really shoot it anymore. At least not until Talah comes back from her time with the Soul of Summer, and hopefully has the skills to help you out. But again, you tried to talk her out of going. You're like, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Is what it is. It was worth it. You came out unscathed. We saved the city. We saved the world. We don't even have to worry about those goofballs on the moon anymore. It's not a big deal. But you know how she is. Once she gets something in her head, the only thing that really bothers you about it is you're not at her side to help her, right?
Yeah.
She's your best friend, and you miss your best friend.
Yeah. I would do it again as I exit the house.
So as you step outside, everything that you see is it's the same old town, right? Nothing's changed. Same old buildings, same old roads. You can look in any direction off into the fields and into the woods. It's a bustling morning, just like normal. Nothing real fancy is going on. I do want you to roll a survival check as you step outside.
Roll what?
A survival check.
Okay.
My mic going goofy. Check.
No,
Oh.
it's my brain who's going mushy.
Oh, you do notice something immediately odd when you step outside. It's awful chilly. Like it's the middle of May. It shouldn't be cold at all, but it is chilly enough that you step back inside and grab your traveling cloak and put it on over you.
Also, that chilly feeling. Any of you feeling on the mark?
I mean, it always reacts when it's cold.
Yeah.
So there's that kind of itchy, burny feeling in it, but
Yeah.
it's unnerving. Ever since your encounter, you're never comfortable when it's cold. So you're like, okay, it's going to be one of those mornings. I'm going to get to the general store and back and get this done. I want to be inside,
Yep.
away from all this.
So, an odd shuffle, quick step to the store.
Okay, you're able to get down to the town without too much trouble. You see everybody, lots of people. Hey, Pippin, Pip, good to see you, man. Hey, and oh, Talah already gone? All right, well, hopefully she comes back soon. You get, people are saying hello, good morning, how are you? Hey, good to see you. Where's Talah? Oh, she's already gone. Little things like that as you walk through. Couple comments from just some of the old ones, like, I don't know what you plan to do with that big butter knife there, and they laugh and joke and everything. You get to the general store and you're talking to Greg there, the owner. And he's like, "Yeah, I need some poplar. I need it of this specific dimensions and this age, and I want it to be greenwood." And all this stuff, which isn't a big deal. There's lots of poplar trees, but the specific dimensions that he's looking for, you're going to have to find some very specific trees to cut, which you think even one-handed you could probably handle. So yeah, he's like, now the big thing is, I know, we're halfway through May. I really need this by the beginning of June. So do you think you can get it done in the next 2 weeks?
Perhaps. I'll certainly give it a try. I'm sure. I'll get it done.
So at that point, you feel a kind of somebody throws their shoulder into your shoulder. Oh, excuse me. I didn't see you there.
Okay.
When you look, it's Talah's brother. It's Atiz.
Well, no worries.
Yeah. You let her run off again, did you? That's good. I don't like you being around my sister.
Yeah. So, I got work.
Yeah, you better get to work. And he leans in and he whispers in it. I mean, you both know she deserves better than a one-legged gimp like you. All right? Even if you keep saying you're just friends, it doesn't matter.
Well, certainly. You would know best, wouldn't you?
Yeah. It's at this point that you think to yourself, man, I really wish they hadn't misidentified that body and it was really him who did get killed in that bar fight while you guys were traveling.
But I'm working, and I'm sure you'll amount to something someday. So, bye.
Hey, you better watch it. Maybe I'll raise taxes on just the woodworkers when I'm mayor.
I'm sure you will.
As you step out of the general store, I need a perception check and a survival check.
Which one first?
Doesn't matter. So you don't notice that it's gotten a little bit colder, but what you do notice is a small crystalline creature. You've seen this before. You see an ice mephit peeking around the corner.
Nate is gonna put a hand on his sword.
It sees you and scurries back around a corner. At that moment, you start to hear noise, commotion in all different parts of town. And you start to see a group of 4 or 5 mephits, or door bursts open down the road. Coming at a person just falls out of the butcher shop, and they've got 4 or 5 of those ice mephits clinging onto them, just stabbing and tearing that person limb from limb. You start to feel that cold, and everything seeping in more and more and more. You start to see snowflakes falling from the sky. As the screams and everything gets louder. Go ahead.
It's just Nate starting to yell no, louder and louder.
As you start to yell, this is when Atiz steps out, and you see an 8-foot tall ice demon trudging through the main street, headed right for the school. And when you look past it, you can actually see the mayor standing there with a large hammer, just a big mallet, like you would use to drive in wooden stakes. And he's just standing there at the door. And Atiz pushes past you, and he pulls out a pair of short swords out of his belt and takes off running to go help his dad. The ground around you begins to freeze up. The mark in your back is burning. And you see him. Sword. You see him casually walking down the main road. His eyes already locked into yours. The heart of winter has come. What would you like to do?
Well, I've just drawn my sword. And I will engage.
You go hobbling up to him, sword drawn, and he just begins to laugh. As you reach him, did you roll? Go for it. Let's roll it. Oh, he's got a save against it? No, what is it? Okay, I get what you're doing. All right. He goes, oh, this is too funny. It's a shame. I owned all of you and only part of you came back. You weren't a challenge for me before, boy. What makes you think you can stop me now? And when he says that, you go to put up the sword in a defensive posture, and he drives his hand past your defenses into your stomach, and you can feel it come out your back as you no longer feel anything below where he stabbed you, and you know your spine is severed. And he picks you up, and he's looking at you eye to eye. Nate, with your last breath before you die, what would you like to do?
I would like to plunge the sword through him.
In his arrogance, he has lowered his defenses, thinking that you can't move. And with your one arm that you've got left, you put the blade on his collarbone and shove down, jamming this blade that you asked specifically for this specific reason, down into his chest, destroying his heart and piercing out his back. As you crumple to the ground on top of your now dead foe, your last fleeting thought is, I can finally get some sleep. I don't have to worry about her anymore. And at that point, as your eyes close, you open them again and you're laying on that burning hot sand with Talah sitting on the sand to your right, crying. And at that point, I want you to mute your microphone. Gobs.
Yeah.
As you go tumbling through the sands, you eventually feel yourself make hard impact and slide to a stop on a hard, smooth floor.
Okay. I'm gonna get up
As-
and look around.
As you
Wildly.
look around in every direction, you see nothing but a great expanse of white. Just white. No shadow, no nothing. But in one direction, you do see a wall of the purest black.
Okay, I remember scenes like this before. I'm gonna start making my way towards the black.
Excellent. As you walk that direction, the wall of black grows, and you realize it's not a wall. It's just that is where the white ends and the black begins. It takes you about 30 minutes to get to where you believe you are near that line. I'll say at this point, you're probably 20 feet from where that great dividing line of white and black stands.
Yeah.
It's at this point that you notice something. Your right arm is green. It's a normal arm.
Okay.
Exodios is not on your arm. You have a normal, full hand, just like you would expect to have as a normal person.
Just as an attempt, I'm gonna try and awaken those instincts that would normally transform it into one of the weapons. I'm guessing it doesn't do anything other than maybe flex a finger.
You don't feel anything. That presence that's always sat in the back of your mind since as far back as you can remember is not there.
Right. So if that's not here, then why am I here? Sort of mumbling that a little. And still progress forward.
So you walk up and you get to that great dark nothingness. And you put your hand out. And as you reach and touch it, there's substance there. As your hand sinks into it, you notice about 3 feet to your left, a black hand begins to reach out of the darkness into the white. You're about up to your wrist now. What would you like to do?
You said 3 feet to my right.
Or
Or
3
what
feet to your left. A hand is beginning to come out as you push in.
So
And
this
that
one-
hand, I will let you know, does look like Exodius.
I'm guessing this would be roughly where the right hand would be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try and flex a few fingers.
It wiggles just like you'd expect it to.
Huh. I'm gonna try and reach the arm in further, just like an inch or two.
It continues to come out like you'd expect it to.
And if I pull it back, does it pull back as well? Am I able to pull it back?
You're able to pull it back.
Okay. Do I feel
When
the
you, I will
presence at
say,
all,
when
or-
when you pull it out, the entire darkness ripples after you pull it out.
Oh, I was not gonna pull it all the way out, like an
Oh, you don't
inch
pull it all
back.
the way out?
Just to see, like, oh,
just
you're
moving a little. I
keeping me there.
misunderstood.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not keeping you there.
All right. I'm gonna pull the right arm back out. This time it
Okay.
will, of course, ripple.
Yeah,
I'm
and
trying
then
to
it
see what
ripples.
happens
Yep.
if I put the left hand in.
Your left hand will not go in.
Right, only the right. Okay. In that case, I'm just gonna stick the right arm in as far as it goes.
As you continue to reach in, it goes past the elbow, goes past the tricep. Then once it gets to your shoulder, you feel a jerk. And as you jerk, you step to try to catch your balance, and your right foot and leg go through. And you get pulled in halfway. And after you're like, and you start to pull again, your face is stuck and your head is stuck. And when you open your eye, you realize you can't see anything outside the right side of your face. You're actually completely perfectly bisected. And as you look forward, smiling on the other side in black from head to toe, with red eyes and black pupils, you look into the face of Exodios.
At last, Gobs. We can finally talk.
Okay.
I know you have lots of questions.
Yeah, a lot.
Well, now's the time. I'll tell you what I can.
Okay, where are we right now?
We're in between. We're in between existence and nothing. But nothing misses us.
I imagine they do. Why are we here like this? Is this the cause of the storm?
Oh, that storm's interesting. Sometimes it shows you what you can find and what you will be and what paths you can do. Sometimes it just opens the door where you can talk to what actually matters when it comes to fate. But sometimes knowing the future helps you down the proper road. Sometimes just a conversation works. So I talked to Papa, and he wanted me to make sure you understood what your role is and why you exist. Would you like to know that?
Yes, desperately so.
You see, we all come from nothing. But me and you, well, me anyways, I was born from the nothing. And then, a long time ago, the nothing became something. And that something hurt. Oh, it hurt so bad. And well, eventually that something grew into other things, and those other things eventually found a way to talk to the nothing. And they asked the nothing if it would come and help them learn about the something. Which I know is kind of weird, because it's nothing. What would it know about something? But that's the thing. Papa knows everything, because it is everything. Does that make sense?
Some weird level, yes.
So, these somethings that came from the something were real nice. And Papa gave a part of it to them to start to understand how everything works. Well, something bad happened, and those somethings disappeared. And that piece of Papa was lost and stuck all by itself. And then they came. And they didn't ask us anything. They pulled us, they poked us, they stabbed us, they hurt us.
That would be the doctors, right?
And that is what made me. Then they took me, and they shoved me into something. But I'm nothing. I'm not supposed to be something. But here I am.
Okay.
So now, because of that, I met you. And your sister, who's a word that Papa doesn't like me to say unless I'm in a certain place in the southern hemisphere where they use that word a lot. She killed us.
Wait.
She killed us. Before we were born. So I took you, and we hid in her. And when she was old enough, we left. And I helped you survive. And that's how we got here today. But we have a job, Gobx.
Right.
The something that came out of nothing hurt the nothing. And it's up to us to help the nothing decide if all of this something was worth that pain.
Wait. What does
If
that
it's
mean?
worth the pain, then you continue to exist and get to enjoy everything this something has to offer. But if they keep hurting us, then I get to take control. And I get to show them what the pain feels like. So, go forth, daughter of the void, and make your judgment.
Wait, so-
And at that point, Gobs, you tumble out onto the blazing hot sand. And you can go ahead and mute your microphone. Sorry.
I did have questions about some of the words, but I'll write them too. It's just the voice filter made some of it in the end a bit. I
Oh,
want to make sure I understood it correct.
okay. Perfectly fine. Sorry about that. So, Abraham, you could unmute your microphone, please. As Abraham tumbles into the storm, you kind of stumble and trip, and you realize you're in a hallway. It's kind of dark hallway, And the only thing you can really see is there's a door in front of you with light coming in through the edges.
A storm of portals and I end up in a hallway. Original, I suppose. Turn around, is there anything behind me?
Just darkness.
Flashlight.
You can see a little bit of a hallway, and then it just goes beyond where you can see anything.
Okay, everybody else is dressed differently or had something different about them. What do I got to work with?
You're you. You
Just
can
as I
have
walked in-
Roscoe's with you, and the and your mind guy is there too. So he's casting light as well.
You're all right. Well, let's go see what's on the other side of that door. I just project my mind in through the tiny crack between the door to see what's on the other side.
As it touches the door, it dispels.
Yes, it's annoying. Bring it back. It'll probably just disappear when I get to the door anyways. And come on, Roscoe's. I don't know what's going to happen when we get here. Trudge up to the door. There's a debate between knocking and being rude and trying to open it. Knocks.
There's no answer.
Tries the door handle.
It is unlocked.
Opens.
You open it. As you step through, you're in a room that's not too big. It's maybe 20 feet by 20 feet. It is just normal, like, bland government building construction, right? Teal or that off greenish color, right? Drywall walls, the black and white checkered tile flooring. There is a table that's just a unfolded table, right? A folding table that's sitting there. There's an older gentleman sitting in a chair at that table. I will tell you, when you look at him, you can tell there's something different about him, especially in the eyes, that feels artificial. He doesn't feel like a person. He feels like an imitation of a person, if that makes any sense.
I've seen this before.
Yep. And he is holding the cube. And he's got it in his hands, and he's spinning the edges of it in the middle of it like he's doing a Rubik's Cube. And he's just fiddling with it, flipping it back and
check
forth.
for my cube.
It is not on your person.
Oh, a visitor. I've not had one of those ever.
You're kind of hard to get to.
I suppose that's true. Would you like to have a seat?
Go over and sit down.
It has been long since I've heard news of what goes on in the world around.
I don't have much.
Based off my internal clock, it seems that it's rolled over. Which means I've been in here at least 18,000 years since I was last accessed. Tell me, does Gilgamesh still rule?
He's
Is he
been
still active?
No.
Gugalana finally destroyed him, huh?
No.
No.
He's just gone.
Just gone? That doesn't sound like my brother at all.
In an act to save, apparently, the city. I think he was sacrificed, or he sacrificed himself.
I take that back. That is exactly like him. So, you mentioned a city. Did he build that bubble idea he always had?
We live inside of it. It's all we know.
And Google on us. He still prowls about the face of the world?
Unknown. We only know what's inside the bubble.
So,
The dome, as we call it.
you hide inside your prison.
It's the best, I suppose, as I've thought about it, and I've studied the histories. There are beings of great power who make decisions that we can't comprehend. And I would suppose we can't comprehend them because we don't know the circumstances. Maybe this is all he could do.
I sense something familiar with you.
Well, you have something of mine in your hands. Or at least it was on my person when I came in here. Is that what you refer to?
No. It's a presence. Is there anything else that's intelligent that's with you?
My bird. I summoned this one as my familiar.
Something more arcane.
My spell book has a mind of its own. I have created it.
What mind is in it?
A mind of arcane power and knowledge and research. It is represented as a... well, here. I will expend a spell slot to resummon. Well, on this day, I guess it's a fresh day. I summoned him on that rock. Has it been a day since then? If so, I can freely summon him again without having to spend a spell slot. That's the only reason I ask.
It has been a day.
Okay. So that one got dispelled, but I still have a charge to summon one, so I summon him again. I can bring him back, but he disappeared when he tried to enter this room before.
So let me ask this question of you. When if you remember your spellbook that you got from the Ethereum
Sanctum.
Sanctum, and it was written by a very specific person.
Right. Yeah, I'm using it.
Okay.
He's deliberately. Abraham is deliberately being very glib and not forthcoming.
What I'm asking is, when you conjure your old guy, does it look like the guy who wrote the book?
It can be. Abraham did not.
That.
Oh, asking me as the player?
Yeah.
Okay. Me as a player doesn't care. I want you to understand that Abraham didn't pick what it appeared as.
Okay, so I would say it would naturally take that form.
Right. So he didn't like have a conscious choice in mind, which is why I was like debating what he was like, what would he care what it looked like. So I just figured a scholarly ghost was be an easiest image for me to find. So I went and looked for that.
Yeah, and that name was something I lost when I lost on my notes last year. Do you still have his name?
Incendu? That's the name I have up there. Ethereum Sanctum.
He was a doctor.
There's a lot that I had written down on different notes, and I don't know where those notes are.
So I'll deal with it. We'll just avoid the name. So you summon that the awakened
figure.
Mind. Yep.
Ah, that's what I thought. Father. How interesting. You have Father's spellbook.
I suppose I found this when I found that. I point deliberately with a strong pointy finger at the cube.
That does make sense. Anytime me and Gilgamesh would go go out on a mission, we would back ourselves up into these stasis cubes, and of course Father would have had the possession of them, so wherever his spellbook was is probably where I was, which explains why it's been so long since somebody's come to visit me.
Well, you weren't where that was. I don't know where that technically was. I had to nearly drown to get there.
Interesting. This is me.
You? I was told that was
Yes.
Gilgamesh.
To an untrained eye, I could see how that would be mistaken, as we are very, very similar. He's my brother. He's the older, I'm the younger. My last memory is of us preparing for an assault on the creature, Gugliana, to try to defeat it, to preserve humanity and all organic life. Mainly the magical ones, that's the whole thing. It eats magic, so obviously that puts more magical races at risk, as your dwarves, your elves, your ladrins, and all of that are very magically inclined. Based off the fact that Gugliana is still roaming the world and my brother is dead, I assume we failed, and failed to the point that I wasn't able to... I must have been destroyed. And things must have gone very poorly. Gilgamesh must have initiated the resurrection protocols. Yes, that explains it. Explains the time, and explains the fact that I was never reactivated. Well, young man, what are you doing? What's your goal?
Well, I don't know. The idea was to create another Gilgamesh, but all we'll be doing is creating you. Abraham's looking like he's thinking real hard. He's like twisting his head to the side. He's like, eyes all squinched up, and his face is like, why don't you help?
Well, I can't. I'm caught in here.
Well,
However,
uncatch?
there's good news and bad news. The core of our code is the same, myself and Gilgamesh's. Our protocols were slightly different, but that's the only thing that was different between the two of us. If you're able to help me move about the world again, I would have the necessary code, capabilities, and knowledge to rebuild my brother. The downside is that we will need something like this with his memories in it to bring his memories back.
Well, if anything like that exists, it would probably be in an Ethereum Sanctum version 2 or in the city of Gilgamesh itself.
He built the city and named it after himself?
I
What, does he
believe
have a giant golden tower?
it's a giant tower of residuum. It uses it to power the dome, as I understand it. And the city was named after him by its inhabitants.
Well, at least there's still some check to his ego. I'm willing to bet that if this tower is where he stayed for the most part, is that the correct understanding and assumption?
He never left it. That's the general understanding that's been passed around.
Well, then there's got to be a backup there. Well, good. It seems I can help my brother once again.
Well, the
He
problem
stands-
with that is that it's under siege. in an eternal war for the past 20 years.
Under siege by what?
Demons, devils.
Oh, well, if you get me back walking again, that will be of no concern. Seems I'll have the opportunity to help my brother once more. What a pleasure. My name is Inkadu.
And at that point, he extends his hand out to you to shake it.
Inkendu. I found your name in the Ethereum Sanctum. Didn't know what it meant. Inkendu? I spelled it wrong.
Well, and what is your name, sir?
Abraham.
Well, Abraham, I'm not quite sure what caused us to have this conversation.
I was thrown into a vortex filled with portals. I would say fate picked this one. They do call it the
Yes.
Storm of Fates.
Well, she is fickle, isn't she? But, here, you'll need this.
And he hands you back the cube.
Yes, I suppose so.
I look forward to seeing you again soon.
I suppose it would actually be this that we'd be seeing. Hold up
And
the cube.
once you do that, you hold up the cube and look at it, and when you pull it back down, you are standing on the hot sands next to all of your friends except for Othokent. And you can go ahead and mute your microphone.
Me.
Othokent,
Yes.
as you step into the giant storm, you immediately step out of it. Also on sands, but not the yellow sands that you've been trekking. You're standing on red sand. Your heart flutters as you realize you're standing on the cliff face, the sandy, rocky cliff face above your home. Your village built in this alcove out of the rocky caves and spires in this arid area that sits on the edge of a jungle that you guys go into to hunt and forage and feed. You would come up to this cliff that overlooks everything to sit and look and think and get time to yourself.
Well,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just said, well, all right.
You look out in front of you, and there's this rock that you had a tendency to like to sit on. And you look up and you realize that there's somebody sitting there already. It's a very large human, 9-10 feet tall, tan, golden skin, vibrant red hair, embroidered white cloth clothing with gold inlay all across it. He sees you, and whenever he looks over his shoulder and you see his eyes, they are glowing brightly with yellow. A golden glow is in them. And you realize, without much effort, you are looking into the eyes of your god as Lathander sits on the stone, smiling at you.
Mhm. Well, greetings. fellow.
Othokent, my son,
Yes,
come and sit next to me.
of course. I come over and sit.
What brings you here?
Well, last I remember, I was traveling through Igavorsana, through a sandstorm seemingly made out of portals. And now suddenly I'm here next to you.
The storm of fates.
Indeed.
Seems my cousin has decided to bring you here to me to have a conversation.
I will be honest, this is not what I was expecting. Not that I'm complaining, of course, it's just a lot.
I believe this conversation is actually more for my benefit than yours.
Well, if there's any way I can help, I'd be happy to do so.
Tell me, dearest Othokent, do you know why your people gain strength when they are in the warm sun?
Well, I could come with some biological answer, but I feel like there's a deeper meaning to it when you say it like that.
Well, the biological reasons are the how. Science can only ever tell you the how. Dearest Othokent, it can never tell you the why. I am the why. When your people are first created and made to walk the various worlds, you were made by me. To be my emissaries, to teach the world of the glories of the new start, the morning dawn, the warmth and strength of light, and how each and every day is a new opportunity to be as best as you can be. This is not something that's told to you, is it?
No, it's time I hear such.
There's a reason for that. There's another god. And me and her are not very fond of each other. Her name is Lady Shaw. She is the Queen of Darkness. She gains strength when people are afraid or hate the dark. Which means her task is easier than mine. She doesn't need to get people to worship her or believe in her or do anything but be afraid. And that's easy. Tell me, your people, do they like it when it's dark?
Well, no. Cold often brings death, despair, and many an ambush and predator.
Exactly. And in this darkness, in the weakness it brings, which lowers my children back down to just what normal people are, instead of their glorious versions they are when the sun is up. Just that is all she had to do, to take my children away from me. Do you understand that pain?
It must be terrible.
And yet, have I abandoned my children, Othokent?
I do not believe so.
Does the sun still give you warmth?
It does.
Does that warmth give you the energy to go about your day and take care of each other and build your homes and live your lives?
Of course it does.
Exactly. Because that's what a father does. Despite how his children respond, a father always provides. But I have taken something from your people. Do you know what it is?
Is it our emotions?
No. That comes with the cold of night. The thing I have taken from you, from your people, is you.
Oh. Well, that.
Tell me, both of them. After you tread this world and do the great deeds that fate has in store for you, and wield the power that I will loan to you, and you return to your people, will you tell them of me?
Not to be rude, that's a silly question. I'll tell every one of you. My brothers, my sisters, my parents, that one still left. Anyone who is willing to listen.
Greater than any wound the abandonment of my children has given me is the wounds of the words I hear of other peoples, other races, and their fear of my children. The time you've spent away from me and embraced in your fear of night and darkness has turned my people cruel and vicious. And that is what stole the emotions. That is what gives them their perceived efficient ruthlessness. We must remind our people, Othokent, that though your blood be cold, your hearts are filled with the light of the morning Lord. Will you help me with this?
I'll do whatever I'm able.
And that is all that I ask. Go forth, Othokent. Go forth with my blessing, my love, and my light.
And at that point, you wake up sitting on the sand immediately to the left of Abraham.
All right.
And that's where we're going to end this week's session for everybody.
Good night, everybody.
As you guys sit on the other side of the Storm of Fates, in front of you stands a 6 or 7 mile high plateaued mountain. As you've come through that storm, you now look upon Ik of Orzana and the archives of everything. And we'll adventure into that next week.
That was
Alrighty then.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, everybody who's been watching on stream, I appreciate you guys. As always, check out the YouTube channel. Next week we should be back together to see what's inside the archive, meet Dryden's sister, and hopefully continue to learn a little bit more about what fate has in store for our friends.
Yeah,
But
well,
thanks
I
again.
need a minute. Meaning
Have a great week, everybody.
See you.
See you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.